while U.S.-China tensions continue to rise once again as well. Big declines overnight in the APAC region. We'll show you Chinese markets really getting hit 5+% to the downside. New national security law being passed in Beijing that will affect Hong Kong. So more negativity coming out of the APAC region. We had some retail sales data out in Canada this morning that was in line with expectations. They were expecting a decline of 10%, came out exactly that, 10% to the downside. Individually this morning, NVIDIA shares on watch with Alibaba a little bit flat, relatively weak even after blowout earnings report. And the other online Chinese retailer we've been talking about lately, Pinduoduo, also reporting earnings. Yeah, that Canadian retail sales figure out at 8:30 showed 10% decline here in Canada as far as retail sales are concerned versus, in fact, a 10% decline expected. It's Friday. We made it to the end of the week. May 22nd, 2020, tradertv.live starts now. And there we go. Look at Asian markets from overnight. You can see both Hong Kong and the Hang Seng markets sharply lower. Beijing coming out announcing a new national security law that is going to affect the Asian financial hub. So both Chinese markets really negative overnight. Rest of the markets in that region also following suit. Let's go over to Europe and have a look at how things are shaping up so far throughout the European landscape. Italy leading the way to the upside, 1.3%. Everything else kind of muted. You can see the Swiss market to the downside. Let's go over to North America and see how things are looking so far. Pretty muted. We were lower to start the morning, just creeping back into positive territory here. The S&P 500, 0.1% to the upside now. NASDAQ still in negative territory. The TSX here in Toronto, pretty flat to start. Brazil's open, pointing to the downside. Bitcoin trading higher today. And we have a big decline in crude oil, 3+% to end the week. Gold also in positive territory. Was just reading that story about that news overnight in the APAC region, guys, affecting the Beijing financial hub, obviously. I mean, we were talking earlier in the week about how the U.S. had passed a new law that could see Chinese listed companies in the U.S. delisted completely. We saw Alibaba reporting overnight. Lots to get to this morning when it comes to Chinese news.
Yeah, tremendous amount to get to. I mean, the first thing when that news was announced, people were saying, oh, well, you could get delistings and then moving maybe to Hong Kong, and then who knows how that would play out now, certainly with that news. I want to give a big time shout out because at 11:25, our guest trader of the day is actually going to be one of our longtime watchers, part of the Day Trade the World family, actually. So Dax, can't wait to have you on. Everyone stay tuned and stick around for that. It's always a lot of fun for us to do. And speaking of Day Trade the World, thanks for the super chat there, actually. There you go. I want to show the numbers coming in from Thursday. Big numbers pulling out of the U.S. Number one trader pulled 38,000 in Day Trade the World, trading all over the U.S. markets. Amex, CME, NASDAQ, New York, NYMEX. Number two, a European trader, 21,000. Doesn't have to be there in Europe. They're just trading mostly European names. 18,000, another trader mainly in Europe. 15,000, Europe again. 14,000, more Europe. And then OTC, Pink, coming in at number 6, 14,000. You might have seen some action on Fannie and Freddie doing a little bit more volume, especially Fannie Mae. So money being made there. And another one for you here, 13,000, someone in Brazil pulling some money out of that market. So there's a lot of opportunity. It's the last day of the week before a long weekend. So got to scratch that itch, get that trading in before the unfortunate 3-day break.
Yeah, Memorial Day, guys. If you're not in the U.S., you may not know that, but us here in Canada, we had Monday off. I mean, we were still on the show, but Victoria Day and now Memorial Day in the U.S. So, yeah, look, we were right about Alibaba. The numbers were great. It was a fantastic quarter, but like Neil just mentioned there, sliding down, we have Alibaba here on a nice little sell. We'll talk about that in a minute, but Alibaba down 2%, but making a nice little comeback off 206. We'll talk about those levels when we get to it, Brendan.
All right, guys, let's get things going here. First off, we'll jump over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning and hello everyone. Welcome to Trader TV Live. Guys, I wish you a great trading day and we are here to make it even better. As guys mentioned before, we are very excited as our next trader guest will join us today at around 11:25. Stay tuned and also participate. Send your request at marketing@Trader TV Live to join us and trade together live. Also guys, it's already our tradition to reach 300 likes before market opens. So hit the thumbs up now and subscribe to our channel. We live every day from Monday to Friday starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Though this Monday will be a holiday, the US market, due to the Memorial Day, so we'll be back with you on Tuesday. Guys, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and let's go back to traders.
All right, yeah, let's get going here. Lots to talk about so far this morning as far as individual movers in the pre-market. First one, as we mentioned, Alibaba reporting better than expected quarterly revenue and profit, saying the COVID-19 lockdown obviously causing a lot of people to shop online instead of at the traditional brick and mortar stores. The company's core commerce business rose nearly 19% in the quarter. Revenue for its cloud computing business was up 58%. The e-commerce giant also said it topped 1 trillion, guys, in gross merchandise volume for the first time, and pointed to a 650 billion yuan, obviously reporting in China, revenue for its fiscal 2021 full year. So a nice look, or was higher as far as the earnings goes, but not so much for the stock this morning.
No. And yeah, we talked about Alibaba a lot recently, and it's been a stock that I've traded well, and we'll try to trade it well again today. But this was what happened here. Everything was cruising, everything was nice. Alibaba was getting near 52-week highs right here, 220, 221. We liked 230. That actually is the high. And then all of a sudden, at about noon 2 days ago, the Senate passes that bill. And you know what? Alibaba roadshowed. They were fantastic. They're actually a legit company, but as you see, a big drop down here, 220 all the way down to 211 on that news that now they're going to have to file properly. I mean, their underwriter is PricewaterhouseCoopers, so I'm not worried about that kind of stuff, but obviously the market comes in today, sells off on a record quarter, but that's what's going to happen, and they took it down to the woodshed. I would like 209.60 to come. That's where we sort of bottomed out yesterday. We'll see if it can take that, and then we can go long off of that number, but down 2.27% right now, and still continuing to fall. I mean, this is a 3-minute chart, but I mean, look what's happened here in the last, I don't know, hour or so. You go from, this is 812. So 212 here all the way down to 206. So it got a little bit of a haircut there. And yeah, it's not looking too good. I just wanted, before I throw to Neil here, the imbalance locator is still a sell. So Alibaba, by far the biggest one on here as far as value is concerned, 335,000 shares times $200, so a lot bigger than any of these other ones. So yeah, Alibaba under pressure to start the day. Doesn't mean it will continue, but we'll see about Alibaba. I do like it through 210 to the upside if it goes.
Yeah, you mentioned 209.60, 209.50. I wrote down that that's splitting hairs. It is just about yesterday's bottom. I think you round those numbers up. It doesn't matter a penny or two here or there. 203.50 a downside was the next level of support that I was looking at Alibaba. I just want to note I was looking at just on screen here when you're putting up the imbalance locator. Norwegian a big buy, and also Safe. So Spirit Airlines again, a couple of players in that space to the upside when it comes to travel.
Yeah, we've seen over the past couple of days those travel names really providing some strength, so we'll talk about those coming up. The next one here, guys, the other online Chinese-based retailer, Pinduoduo, also out with earnings overnight that also beat expectations, again benefiting from the lockdown, everyone at home shopping online. The company did say back in April they had officially surpassed JD.com to be China's second largest online retailer. They posted revenue that rose 44% to 6.5 billion yuan, beating estimates of 4.97 billion. So PDD up here, guys, versus that chart we just looked at for Alibaba.
Absolutely, and just sort of, making a nice little move back into territory where there was a little bit of chop, unfortunately, a couple of sessions ago. You look at this sort of 60 to 61.50 area, very, very choppy zone. If it can hang above there, you could find some support at 61.50. Next stop to the upside is the 63 even level, so I like this one if it can break and hold above 61.50 off the open to test that 63 high, but if we can't get through there, you're probably looking at a bit of a fade opportunity there. So if 63 is going to hold, you might have a short off of the open if there's an initial pop. That also could be a breakout price to track later on in the day, or maybe it happens off of the open. But those levels I'm watching in Pinduo Duo, 61.50 first, then that 63 area to the upside. Downside, I didn't really have anything except for the boring 60 even.
Yeah, I mean, Pinduo Duo. We'll wait to see. I mean, this making the move back up. Neil just talked about it, and Alibaba making the move back down. So we'll just wait to see. I mean, futures bouncing a little bit. You're up 0.17. It's kind of a nothing day here. I'm still thinking that there's a lot of headline risk in a lot of these Chinese names. So if I trade them today, they probably won't be very heavy, and Pinduo Duo will be another one of those names. Neil talked about $63, $62.50, something like that is not bad. So we might get $62.50 right off the open. So I think you go long, and then you just try it, and you try it back down to 61 or so. So, I mean, I don't want to go short. Pinduo Duo was a good quarter, up 3%, passing JD. I mean, that's a nice little milestone there for them. So yeah, Pinduo Duo on watch today, but not crazy, just too much headline risk. Anything could happen there, and then if it does, you get out right away and you sit back and watch the fireworks. So.
All right, guys, more earnings to get to here. Let's go to NVIDIA. Shares are actually not really doing a heck of a lot in the pre-market this morning. It's been a pretty muted session so far as pre-market goes. They are slightly higher, but earnings came in to the upside. $1.80 per share on revenue of $3.08 billion. That was versus expectations of $1.69 per share on $3 billion revenue. The company also said revenue jumped 39% year over year. So NVIDIA, pretty flat here so far in the pre-market, guys. We have this level from yesterday afternoon kind of just staring us in the face up here. Was a little bit of resistance, I guess, 358 and change.
Yeah, we're not gonna get up there. Well, actually, now that we battled back, wow, yeah. I was looking at 350. I mean, those are sort of the levels that we wrote down there. And yeah, you know what, NVIDIA, big move here. I mean, obviously with Bitcoin moving around, there's a lot of mining going on through there. We don't have to tell you the story about video games. And then NVIDIA is leading the pack with a lot of their processors right now. So GPUs are a thing, and obviously NVIDIA keeps leading the way. And yeah, you hit it out there with 758. That's the top. There's nothing really else that's super exciting to me. I mean, it's very, very choppy. I was looking at 348 down here as a bottom for a possibility right here as a break. That's 351. You tip down here 350, and then yesterday's bottom, sort of at 3 o'clock, was 349.50. So I think if you get a chance to go short and the market wants to give it to you, I like 349.50 short. But on the upside, I don't know. I think this stock is a little overbought, but we'll just wait to see what NVIDIA does.
I'll double down on that. You go to this little top that it had here, 363. It's a double top, one session apart here at 363.50. Then now after it pulled off of there, you have this 358 level a couple of times, both yesterday in the afternoon and again this morning. That just feels like that's going to be heavy resistance. So even on the move to the upside, I'm going to be fading it at that 358. And if you're going to be fading it, how are you not looking at that bottom break, which, like you said, is 350 there, Sean? And of course, the long weekend could play into this as well for some sell action.
Neil, you were just messaging me there about that XSPA. That is COVID-19 related. Going to read into that a little bit. But XSPA, guys, little penny stock going crazy right now. 18 million shares already moving to the upside. There's some COVID-19 related news on that one. Let's keep going here. HP Enterprises, the IT firm, posting second quarter earnings after the close yesterday that missed right across the board. 22 cents per share. Revenue was $6.01 billion versus 29 cents per share, 6.3 billion expectations. So HP to the downside. I'm going to look at this XSPA, guys. We'll leave Hewlett Packard up to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hewlett, you get to 7.5% move to the downside, you get all excited about the volatility. It's a $9.50 stock that's done 178,000 shares, which is not all that enticing, but there is a support level here at 960, or at least this area in the pre-market. It was a level that we were looking at. Also, I was looking at this morning. The other one I had was 10 to be a fade. 1050 is heavy resistance on the daily chart. I don't see any way that we're looking at that price today, so you can probably throw that out the window. I think the 10 even on any kind of a retracement, you just sort of look at the rest of the week. Previous support tends to turn into resistance on a bounce. I would anticipate the same thing. Unless it makes a major pullback move to the upside, I'm not sure I'm going to be involved in this one, unless the volume really picks up off the open there. Not too enticing for me, but this XSPA, now 20 million shares in volume off that big spike. I will be looking at this one. Just want to make sure that we do some analysis here. It just made a major move to the upside, doubling in price, starting to roll over. And traditionally, it would feel like if it can't get back through this 88-cent mark, it's worth a little bit of a short, even if you're only taking it into 80 to make 5 cents or so. It is a little bit early for that, but just tracking lots of volume, and it looks like a definite opportunity here in XSPA.
Yeah, I mean, just take XSPA if it breaks 90. It's a pretty simple trade. Yeah, Brendan, it's the COVID there on JFK. They got the, I guess, some sort of agreement. I don't know. You want to throw it back to Brendan here?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can talk about it here, guys. JFK International Airport. So they're going to set up a COVID-19 testing facility within Terminal 4 at JFK. Apparently going to be able to process up to 500 tests per day in the actual terminal. So yeah, that's the news on XSPA, guys, if you're wondering. Going to be working with JFK Airport. So let's keep going here, guys. We'll head over to Navidea Incorporated, sharply higher in this morning in the pre-market after releasing positive initial results from a phase 2 trial on a new treatment for rheumatoid arthritis. NAVB on the NASDAQ. I will preface this, guys, with the warning. This is a nano cap company, 18 million market cap on this one.
It absolutely, it's just a note there, it is on the Amex, I'm
yes.
pretty sure there. Yeah, so on trading over there on the Amex, I do have this one on the radar today. Very strong. It was not a look that I was trying to fade in the pre-market, no chance. It made already a couple of breakouts. You can see 320 just got taken out there. I'm going to let it make a high at some point and then look for the short opportunity. There was a level at 3 that has come and gone. I do expect there to be some support down at 260. I think that's pretty clear from the market action that I've seen so far this morning, but right now it's sort of looking parabolic. You can take breakouts through the high, but there hasn't been enough consolidation to look for any kind of sell opportunity yet.
Yeah, NAVB, thanks. I just saw this now. I'm going to be going long through 340. Not going to go short this one long. NAVB 340, that's the high. We'll see if they want to take it out. Right now, you still have 13 minutes to go. So we'll see if that one wants to come through. But NAVB on a watch list today that's not overly heavy right now. But we'll trade NAVB through 340 if that wants to go. Arthritis, obviously a big problem as the aging population continues to grow, Brendan.
Yeah, 150%. Crazy move so far for that little one. Let's talk about Moderna here, guys. mRNA, I think, worth a look. Back on watch after it was up 5% in the pre-market, but just crushed all day yesterday to the downside. Evercore ISI, the research firm, out saying that the company's COVID-19 vaccine not likely to be the be-all and end-all, but could be the first to gain regulatory approval. So mRNA back to the upside today, guys. Still up about 4.3%, but you can see yesterday just absolutely crushed. Sean, you were talking about this one.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like mRNA, what they did back a few days ago when they released results there, and then they went for the share offering. And we can go for a 10-minute chart here. I don't even know if that goes back far enough, if it loads. But anyways, mRNA went up. Here it is here. So here they come out with this study over the weekend, and apparently it's 8 cases, and they all grew the antibodies and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, so that day happens, then all of a sudden the very next day they do a share offering down to $76 or $74, whatever it was. And it just seems pretty shady to me that, they rip all the way up here and then you do a share offering. It just doesn't seem that's that, like why would you do a share offering if you're at $80 or $90 down here at 74, 75? I think it was 76 to be exact. So yeah, so that's a little bit of a warning for me on that one. But you know what? I mean, look, I'm not an expert obviously in this field. I just think that if it does get get going here. I just looked right now. I like $72. That's where it's, it's wicked out here this morning. You have 72 as a little bit of a bottom right here. And it could run. I mean, again, it's a headline risk business here. I like Moderna through 72, for the long. But as a company, I didn't like what they did there. And I still think there's some shady things to come with Moderna. So I would not be a long-term shareholder. But as a day trade, hey, we're here to make some money, right? So.
Yeah, the interesting thing there, it just made a pullback from 72 into that 69. That was the secondary short that we had on right at that price. So it looks like a nice little pivot area at 69 to 69.50 or so, which is exactly the target for the second leg down that we were looking at before. So if that holds support, that could be an interesting level. If it breaks, I think we have to be looking at shorting it just the same way we were doing that yesterday. XPSPA, if you guys are watching, stalling out here just in front of $1. The volume picking up on that one. We'll definitely be trading it at some point today. Looking like it's going to be very active. And Surf hit that 560 mark. Those of you guys that are watching it in the chat, we're looking at that one. Looking like the next level down would be about 520 if it can hold this at the open.
All right, guys, let's go to the travel group. We were looking at these over the past couple of days, kind of leading the market higher as far as strength is concerned. Back to the upside today, led by United, DAL, there's AAL. I mean, we can look at any of the airlines. I want to talk about Norwegian Cruise Line, though, NCLH. There was a little bit of news on that one. They have extended their sailing suspension until August 1st. That was from June 31st. They also said, or Credit Suisse rather, also initiated coverage on the stock once again with an outperform rating and a price target of $21. So NCLH, nice look here this morning, guys, 4.5%, just making day highs, in fact, as we speak.
Strong move. 1450 break already happened. You look at yesterday's top end of the range, 1435. So you're already in breakout territory. Expect support between 35 and 50 on a dip down. I think it could even be a breakout to the downside if it can't hold those levels there, guys. I'm actually going to try a breakout trade here in XSPA when it broke $1. I'm going to give it to the previous level of support that we had during the day on the intraday chart there in the morning. It was about that 93 when it popped through 90. So I'm going to test this one to the long side. But right now NCLH is already in breakout territory. I was looking at Carnival a little bit earlier this morning and did have a couple of levels that I did like here. 15 to 15.17 has been a bit of a resistance point. It had a lot of trouble after that 80 break getting through there. So if it breaks 15, just watch out. It could run into some chop, but it has not gone yet. It's only up 2%.
I wonder if any of you guys took that XSPA. I told you guys going long here at 90 was the key, but I don't know. If you guys took it, congratulations. And yeah, you got that Valeria floss there. 300 likes to start the day. But yeah, I think Joseph's right. We have 1,700, 2,000 viewers. We should have 2,000 likes, so I'm not sure where that's going. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Guys, we have Dax coming. He's a Day Trade the World trader. He'll be coming on at 11:25 to talk all about our platform, what he's been doing. And here goes XSPA. Now through $1. It's already been there. $1.02 is the top. 500 tests, though, a day. It doesn't really seem that many, so I don't know. I mean, obviously, it was such an easy trade through 90 here. Sad that I don't have it, but here it goes there, straight to the upside. An easy, guys, an easy like 10% taking that 90 off. So good thing you guys were watching. I hope you guys had that one. That's going to be a good one. CCL, since we're talking about, I go back and forth with the Twitter people here on CCL all the time, and we've just been destroying this one. This is by far, I think it's the #1 stock probably for the show in the last month or so. So CCL Carnival today looking to take out 15 on really good news throughout the world. It seems like everything being reopened here. Universal Studios came out yesterday and said that they'll be open in the next couple weeks. Same as Disney. I think their plan is probably coming today or Monday, and that should be good as well. And of course, the cruise lines will have news as well. As soon as people are able to fly, you put the wheels in the air there, and then people will be traveling and hitting some of these cruises back. So I like CCL. Look, I've already talked about it from a long-term trade. I mean, not only do I trade intraday here, I've talked about CCL once it broke through here that it was probably a long, and that was at 13.50. So now you're at 15. So right there, that's a quick 10% for anybody that trailed me on some of the long-term plays. CCL going to break through 15 to only 5 minutes to go. I just hope it doesn't happen in the middle of the day. Yeah, nothing on here. Still a big BOVESPA. Oh, there's a CCL buy. So CCL is a small buy. So probably breaks 15, and then we'll see what happens. But I do like a long through 15, guys.
Yeah, NTLH on that list there, too. Big buy to the upside, already up 4.5% though. Amarin, guys, I want to make sure we talk about AMRN to the downside. Big move down. FDA giving approval for one of their popular heart medications to gain generic status. So other companies obviously going to be able to make the same thing. So if you're looking for a weak one today, 10.5% here for AMRN.
Absolutely. 725 is going to be your first area of a resistance if it makes any kind of pop to the upside. That's what I'm going to be watching primarily on Amaran. Also 640, it did have a couple of breaks in the pre-market, but I like that level as well. 590 would be the next level down if it does get taken out, guys. XPSPA could be a buy the dip opportunity. It is bouncing around here at that $1 mark, but it hasn't really broken any higher. So cycling in and out of shares when it has 30 million in volume is certainly worthwhile. Amaran is SSR, short sell restricted. So if there is a break off the open of that low, it's going to be tricky to get into. That's why I like the fade play. I'd love it to bounce and give me a short in front of that 725 area.
Yeah, I wrote down, I just wrote down a low target here of Amaran at $6. So I'm just hoping, crap, here we go. CCL is going to break right now. I was hoping this would break at 9:30, but looks like it's taking that market on balance and running into the top side here, Brendan. So CCL on a breaker. Yeah, XPSA, whatever it is, going to be a good one today. So pay attention to us as we trade it. Neil will be trading it more than me. I probably won't even be touching it. But here we go. CCL up through 15, guys.
All right, guys, one more from small cap world here real quick. MDGS gapping to the upside so far, 25% still, but was obviously a lot higher up here to 425, 430 area. Just watching $4 and then 380 to the downside as far as resistance goes. Really want to see this thing give another push, maybe at the open, up into that area to add more to this. This thing barely trades on a regular basis, so relative volume through the roof here. Yesterday we were down around 260, 270, so a long way to go still if it wants to get back down to these levels, but $380, $4 MDGS, guys.
Yeah. I've resisted temptation to not short this one in the pre-market. Usually it'd probably already be involved like 355, 360, a little bit too far down there. I think 380 does look like a good level there, Brandon. Of course, allow it sometimes to test those high marks. If it gets any kind of a bounce, fantastic. If it doesn't, look for the opening range of the first 10, 15 minutes or so. Usually there's a pullback, sometimes even in the first couple of minutes, that you can take advantage of, even if you're not sitting in the short. And MDGS, only 10 cents a share I think they cost for us, so relatively cheap for those locates for those of you that would be curious about that. So MDGS is on my radar as well. There goes Carnival through 15. If it can't get through 15, 17, that could be an interesting turnaround area for Carnival. But we only have about 3 minutes to go. A lot of names on the radar today. As Brendan mentioned, some of these names with effects in China are going to be weighing heavily on our minds. And one of those just bounced off that 203.50 area. BABA, that was the level I had to the downside. So we caught a little bounce here. I am now looking to fade that one if it gets back up to 208 or so. So already one name definitely going to be in play. A couple of positions on here. Surf, I mentioned short, and then Carnival with that little long break.
Yeah, I got to say what up to Gus. I see you on that chat there, Gus. And yeah, we can't wait for you guys to come back, especially one of my favorite, probably my favorite trader on the floor. So what's up? Constantine, he's on the floor there. So what's up, Gus? Hopefully you get better. Not get better. Hopefully you can come through and get on that floor, our floor, as soon as it's time. We are looking forward to having you, and you always provide us with some great material. So good look on that one. And guys, the biggest trade miss here was one of the easiest ones maybe ever, was this XSPA, and we're just doing too much stuff. But this breakthrough 90 here was such a great little long there. And again, traded like Neil's doing now, like he mentioned there, 35 million shares and growing. So this probably does 100 million easily today. So we'll wait to see. Now it's back down near $1. Remember, stocks will trade differently down below $1, but when you're doing this much volume, you don't really need to worry about that. Us here, I care about these sub pennies because making half a penny, depending on the shares you have, can make a big difference. But for a lot of you guys at home retail, you're not going to be going in and out of this stock. You're going to wait because it is going to be too choppy. So you're not going to scalp it in here for 1 or 2 pennies. You're probably going to wait for a bigger move. So I don't know. I mean, there's nothing on the upside here. I don't think this is that big of a deal, but we'll see. Luckin Coffee here, guys, just breaking down. I did not get any shares short.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I guess
sick.
we don't. It's not shortable, obviously, down 10%. So we're going to wait to see. I'm trying to get shares short right now on LK as it does break through that 180. I meant to talk about it, but we didn't discuss it.
Luckin, someone had asked about it on the chat, and like I just said, I'm a little bit sick to my stomach because there was a level here. There was a level break at 192 initially, but you can also look at the pre-market bottom. I think you can take this one fading all the way back up to 190. You know about holding shorts in this stock. It's been look, it's just been a fantastic trade going short. But again, SSR, like Sean said, so you got to sit on that offer. That's what it's all about there, guys. So I'm looking at Luckin as well. We got the countdown coming up here, just under 15 seconds before we got to drop that bell. Of course, the holiday on Monday, so get that fix in. Last chance to trade. We got Vitaly ringing the bell today. Hopefully, he doesn't have to jump for it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ring that bell, Vitaly.
All right, so we're short Luckin Coffee already. Decent position here at 179 on Luckin Coffee. So we did get that short. It's crashing back down here. So a nice little already 5% win here, if not coming down more. But we're going to wait for Luckin Coffee. My bids are way lower than this. So let's just see what happens to Luckin right now, guys.
Yeah, we talked about SURF Surf. Those of you that were watching said 560 break short. First level 520 we were going to be looking at. So 520, very, very close here. I'll probably take some shares out just because it's already running decently in the money for us at 535, then 520 out. CCL bounces off that 80 mark. So that was that key level that we liked earlier, 1480, 1485, whichever one you prefer. If it holds that, I like this long. I'm not going to let it break 1480 on this long trade. See if we can't get through that chop from yesterday when it couldn't get past 1517.
Yeah, we'll see. And Luckin, we're going to see if we can't get some off. There we go. Take some off there at 73, but we want more on that one. So CCL, I got in and out on a trigger there. That was wrong. Obviously, we have to play with some of these wicks. So we're going to wait for 15. So we are not in CCL, just for you guys to know that. The only trade that we're in right now is Luckin Coffee. We'll look at BA, Alibaba as we're going here. 205. I don't like the long in this name anymore. There goes CCL. Did it go? Yeah. Okay, baking through 15. So here we go. Your boy is in this one. Decent amount of shares. More than our average size position here. So for you guys wanting to know that, here we go. Upside now in CCL, 502. We got this long. Let's see how far we go up.
I missed 2 dip buys on CCL there. Look, thankfully we did get the break on Carnival. 1517, like I said, it's got to get through that price. So for me, I will take some shares off in front of it. That's always going to be the case, guys. If I think there's a resistance point, take some shares off in front, roll into the rest of them, and see if you can't hold for that home run. I'm going to actively short Luckin all the way up here into that 180 mark, guys. You got to be aggressive with Luckin the way it tends to be trading here. So any pullback, we're going to be shorting that buy.
Yeah, and there it is, guys. Already nicely cashed out there on CCL, and still more to come on this one. We love this trade alongside long 502, and bang, 512, 513, 515. Guess what? We did it again, guys. More money coming on CCL. We talked about that breaking through 15. I told you it was a bigger than average size trade. So there it is. You guys want the winners. Bingo bango. That's one for you right there. LK as well. Still making that move, but our best out 72, 73 there. We're going to wait to the top side. We may be wrong on LK, but we're going to wait to see. There goes NAV B as well, taking out 343. Let's see what that one wants to do to the top side. We're small long on this name. I don't trade these runners normally, so we'll see. It does take out the top. Now we're going to see what it does, guys.
Yeah, when I see one of those that takes out the top end and fails back down, if it cannot retake 340, that's a short for me on NAV B. I paid for the shorts, the opportunity to do that. Brendan, what do you got, bud?
Guys, NVIDIA level alert here, 358. We were talking about 358 getting blown out. There it goes, just getting beyond 358, that resistance level from the afternoon on earnings, guys.
All right.
Yeah, my first look for that level was to see if we can't fail through. If it comes back down, I almost wanted to be shorting it. The market is actually still flat, just letting you guys know. Overall, I'm looking at the NASDAQ here, down 0.1, has not made a break up. So if NVIDIA follows suit, you could get a dump back through that 358 level. I'm watching a turnaround in XSPA at $1 right now, but also looking holding 180. I'm going to be building into a short position in front of this price. It looks like it might want to roll over here, but also NVIDIA rolling over through 58 is a nice short opportunity for me, but such a strong stock. Wow.
Man, Alibaba, that's a name that just keeps falling down here, and we don't have the short. And I told you that we were trying to hunt a short here on Alibaba, but maybe this is the one here, 201.50. I don't know. I mean, Alibaba just keeps on going here to the downside. He tries to make it back up and then fails. So I think I got to let this settle down a little bit. It's pretty volatile here to start the day. That's your Alibaba trade right here. So you got to settle that down before we go into it. Down 4.5%, nearing 5%. Okay, CCL, we got out of half of our trade, and yeah, so now it goes back to the downside. So now we got to look to see where is the protection now on the downside of CCL, and we don't have much. Maybe 1450 or so is a sort of a protection side here. You can see that's where all that bunch up is. So let's get out if we break through 1450. Other than that, let's just stay in this one and see what we can do with CCL.
Sean, I looked a gift horse in the mouth. I feel like that's just going to happen sometimes. I talked about 15.17 as a level. It got to 15.18 before turning around on Carnival Cruise Lines. For some reason, after that failure, I get back into the long. That's a mistake. 14.93 and then out when it broke 14.80. So that 15.17 level held like an absolute champ. That's why you're out in front of it. You got to be prepared, guys. But I want to get you over to Surf. Surfing is definitely going to be good. I tried to reload at 560. That's the price that we love. It's now back down in the money, 20 cents or so. First target out is a 30-cent win. 521 is our next level target. 490 would be our home run target, but we just got some out there. Let's dance it off. I have no idea why these look like this, but they're absolutely hilarious. So we're going to throw that one in there. Surf headed to the downside. Just got out at 35. 21 was our target. Let's see if we can't get some more shares out in front of it. And then 490 is the home run space for Surf.
Okay, yeah, you guys are looking at Softy. Yeah, no, Mr. Softy's not doing anything right now yet, and I don't know if it will. Watch the futures, though, guys. We are heading southbound, so that's going to be a key one. We did pick up some more CCL down here at right now, 84, so we just picked it up last minute. So we're going to wait here. You know, our average price was 15.02 was our first break, so now we take some more shares. Now our average price 97, so we're right back at it here on CCL. So that's the big position there for me. We've talked about that. Alibaba, like I'm saying, is just a chop fest right now, so not super interested in Alibaba, but NVIDIA, that was the name. I kept thinking about, what did Brendan just talk about? NVIDIA does come up to that 358 and then hits it and comes back down. Watch the futures if you are trading NVIDIA. Luck in coffee here, bouncing around a few decent outs. I still think there's a lot more on the downside. We're going to get out of this one if it comes back up here, 92, 93, but our CCL now back into a flat position here. I told you 14.97 is our average. We should have gone a little more shares down here, but we didn't. So we'll wait to see what CCL wants to do with a 14.50 break. That's where I'm going to be looking at, guys.
Yeah, some of you are asking about Bed Bath & Beyond. Kevin made a great call. I was talking with him. We were looking at this 7-even break area. We did take this long breakout on Bed Bath & Beyond, but Brendan has something for us. What do you got, buddy?
Little one we've traded on the show recently, guys. TTPH, if you're wondering, gapping up this morning. They had another buyout offer that they've received and are now mulling over cash and stock deals. So coming back to the downside, but TTPH up on merger possibility, guys.
Okay, gonna have to get over to that one just a little bit. Heading further southbound is Surf, so we gotta make sure we manage that position. 521 was the target we gave you. We just got some out in front of that, so still holding half of our position. I'd love it to break 5 even, get to that 490 target that we'd like. So already have a 40-cent winner on, looking for more than that. Here comes Luck and Coffee, and I feel like every single day I'm shorting this stock off of the open. Usually it's headed straight down, but this time we're still going to load back in. You did have that level break at 190. You did have the pre-market bottom here at 180. So I'm going to continue to build this position in front of that 190 mark. It is what it is on Luck In. It's still down 9%. It doesn't matter that it's only 9% down. It's still going to be short sell restricted. And yes, XSPA is halted now, has been for about 3 minutes now. Volatility halt at 90 cents.
90 cents, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so that thing fell back downside. Okay, so XSPA there, volatility halt. So, okay, we're looking to average in now to CCL even lower here. I'm going to use 14, we had a monster day yesterday, so we can give some profits back here. We're going to wait till 14.75, you know, to get long, but CCL right now, I don't know if my earpiece is working, but I thought I heard Brendan.
Yeah, guys, another one moving here in the pre-market. 720 up here on Bed Bath & Beyond. It's up 4% already. They announced they're going to be bringing a whole bunch of employees back as stores in the U.S. start to reopen once again. So nice look here on Bed Bath & Beyond. Watch that 720, guys.
Yeah, so that's the first target area for me on that Bed Bath & Beyond. I always take some shares out in front of a recent high, even if it's a pre-market top, if it's a previous day high. It's sort of an obvious area of maybe possible some resistance that you want to take profit off in front of. So we're going to make sure we get some out in front of that level. That's going to be key. Alibaba, I kind of wish we had a trade here, but unfortunately it's only headed down. I like to hunt pullbacks. There really hasn't been a significant pullback. It's just falling like an absolute rock here over in Alibaba. You want to track some other names that look like they're going to be in play today. Obviously, we've been watching ACB the last few days. Very, very tight range off the morning, relatively speaking to what it's done previously. So I'm eyeballing 16 even right here off of the open. Right before the open and off the open looks like that top. If that holds, could be a short. It's a breakout long through 16 for me with a weak market. I'm not necessarily betting on it, but we'll have the order just in case.
Yeah, we're going to average into some Bed Bath here as well. We're long at 705, so we're going to average in to this one if we can. And then, yeah, look out for the top side on this one. They're opening up some stores there, so we like that name for sure, Bed Bath and Beyond. So we'll wait to see. I mean, I hate the name really, but I like the movement here, and we'll see if it can't get back to the upside here. And we're going to get out if it breaks through 692. So Bed Bath and Beyond, hopefully a little money maker there for us. But we'll see on that one. Still got luck in short, guys. And yeah, we just took a Carnival long even more, but this stock is breaking. So once this broke up here, we did take a nice trade off the open. That was a big winner. We did belly dance. We belly danced it off, but now it's coming all the way back to the downside. And Carnival looks like a broken stock right here. 1450. When that breaks, we're going to be out.
Guys, reopen on XSPA. Just throw it in the chat. Hope you caught it. I faded this one. If it's a halt downside and holds a key level, obviously $1, it immediately holds below 95 cents. I got short 92.5, able to take some out there for a very, very quick 7-cent win there. I think seriously, I'm going to be shorting this one from 95 even and hanging on to some shares. So if we get a bigger flush, 80 was the support level. So I wouldn't be too surprised if 95 holds. We could be headed southbound to about 80 or so. Not reloading yet. We're deep in the money on that one. Surf back at that 520. That's still in the money as well. Bed Bath & Beyond giving you a pullback, but ACB on a break. So lots of things happening right now. I am going to take some more short out of XSPA, but ACB 16 break, definitely a big one worth looking at here. Just notice that level off of the open. Obviously, it's already at 1620. We'll take some out at the quarter if we can, and then see if we can't ride the train for the rest. ACB's down significantly here, 5 or 6%. Sorry, that was Toronto. Apologies. Down 5 or 6%, but making a move back to the upside here on ACB. Looking to see if we can get to that pre-market top at 1650.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for ACB to get to, I mean, here comes, it's falling like a rock right now. Well, yeah, I'm going to wait to see if it gets to, yeah, I mean, 1650 is a good one. 1670 yesterday's high as well. So we'll wait on ACB as well on that one. So I'm not in that one right now. The biggest position that I'm in right now is this CCL, but it's falling down, guys. So CCL right now, not working out at all. We're long 90s, just drop down. So it looks like we'll be giving back some of the profit that we've made recently on this name, but you never know. The trade is not over yet. We're going to wait till 1450 to break, and then we'll get out of CCL. Probably one more average in right around here, and then we'll hope for the best. But yeah, this stock broke down early here. We got in and got out for a decent profit, but now we're giving back that and more here as we try to hold this long on CCL, guys.
Brendan, I believe, has something. What do you got, bud?
Yeah, just looking for some locates on Digirad. DRAD, guys, 35% to the upside here. Another little one in the diagnostic end of the medical field, announcing a new product today, but got rejected up here around 310 a couple of times already. DRAD, guys.
I'm going to quickly throw the position board on so you guys can see. I got 5 here, so it can be a little bit difficult to just only say them. Let's see what we're working with here. Long ACB on the 1606 break. That's in the money for us. Bed Bath & Beyond's pulling back. 685 was my out. It's at 95. I should be adding to that position, actually, now that I look at it. Luck in short 177. Kind of not getting anything out till it breaks 170. Surf, we're short here at 558. That's in the money, 35 cents. And XSPA, we reloaded at 93 in front of 95. Haven't taken anything out of that. It needs to break maybe that 90 mark again and then get about 5 cents in the money before I really want to be digging out of that one. I kind of believe on the pullback, and when you get that failure at $1, you want to hang on because sometimes it gets really, really spicy to the downside when you get $1 even failed break.
Okay, so CCL guys, average in, we just talked about that one. So now we got to wait to see what happens here. CCL looks like it wants to just come crashing back down. That's a spot for me right now, and yeah, not a good one. So we're going to wait on that one. BBBY also falls down. So we did shout out Kevin for that look early, but now it comes right back down to the downside. So BBBY, their best, no, Bed Bath & Beyond. Best Buy was yesterday. BBY yesterday. So, okay, NAVB, we talked about that. We took that. That got in and that got out. So that was a loser there as well. Luckin Coffee right now is one of the only stocks that's working for me. We just got out again at 74. We're still holding the short. We're going to have to see how far this one wants to go down. But for right now, it's Luckin Coffee time to the downside. So we're waiting. We're short 80 here. Actually, we're short 79. So we'll see. I got some bids in the 50s. I still think this thing falls.
That one's not creepy. The wheelbarrow of money. Thank you, ACB. I talked about getting out in front of pre-market levels. 1650. Here's that level in the pre-market. We just took some shares out. Look, I still have a bit of a long position in this name. I'll give it to break even at 16. We're long at 1606. So you get a 40-cent win on there and sort of roll the rest in. If you can't break, fair enough. We'll go break even on the last little bit of that position. Luckin continuing to head to the southbound, but the real story for me is XSPA. You can always make money on a breakout. I actually like these things to the short side. Look at it hold 95 here. We reloaded on that short at 93. We have 93.1 here. It's at 86 or so. We'll take shares out in front of 85. I think that's a reasonable expectation. I did have a target of 80. You can't get too picky in a penny stock. Look, if you're in the money here, 93 short to 85, just keep in mind, that's almost a 10% return. You got to think in terms of that as opposed to it's only 7 cents, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And I know a lot of you guys are using big shares there, so good on that one. Okay, CCL breaks down, and that's it. So we flush ourselves down the toilet on CCL. We're not going to sit here and trade that anymore. We'll wait. We're still holding a small position, but we are basically out. If it takes back here, 1467 or so, I'll go long on CCL. I do not mind that at all. But Luckin Coffee now an 11-cent winner, so that's nicely into the money. But what's up, Brendan? I'll have to fix my phone.
Nice bounce in Amarin here, guys. We mentioned gapping down this morning. One of their popular drugs getting the generic status from the FDA. Right at $7 here. Have a look at $7. I mean, we gapped up to, or in the aftermarket yesterday, was trading around $7.60. So long way to go to get back up to where we were yesterday for Amarin, guys.
Absolutely, and look, we'll pop a wheelie off for Luck, and I said I'm not taking anything out until it breaks 170, built into a short in front of 190. First shares out here at 167 and 165. It's now at 161. We'll continue to work out of this one. I don't know where the bottom is, much like all of our other shorts in this stock. Who cares? Just hang on for dear life. The shorts are winning here on Luckin. Next stage out there was in front of 160, so a couple of legs out. I'm going to continue to hold this. I'm going to short a pop if it gets back up to 170 or 175 or so. But loving this one to the short side, in the money on everything so far. I should knock on wood, with the exception of Bed Bath & Beyond. That one flamed out for us, breaking that 85 mark.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, LK here. Yeah, we're big in that one. So LK, we just took some off at 60 there. We will take some off at, I mean, I told you guys this was going to the 50s. So again, the one-hit wonder continues here. 180 to the short side, one trade. We're still in more than half of this. So we'll see if this happens for us or not. But still to come here on Luckin Coffee. I still think we go downside. I mean, look what's happening to all of these Chinese stocks today. CCL, we get out at that 1450 break. I'll do that every time. And now it's back battling itself back. So we still are long here 65. Some shares, that's off this little bid here, 59 plus 70, the average price in there, 65. So we did lose on our 15s. Now we'll go back to the upside. I'm going to take a long again if it breaks back up here, 1480. So I still believe in it, but we'll wait on Carnival Cruise Lines to come here. Alibaba looks like it's breaking 200 here. So did it already? No, it did not. So 200, not a horrible spot here. Those of you like the $200 level, that's psychologically, obviously, I don't need to tell you guys a big number. So if you break through 200, look out below. But I don't know. I think this is way overdone. Down 5% today. I like Alibaba as a long-term play, but obviously they can't get out of the way of the feds. So we'll wait to see what that wants to do. Missed opportunity on the short, but hey, it was already crashing in the pre-market. I can't take too many shares if that's going to happen, guys.
Speaking of crashing, all the way back to 16 goes ACB. I didn't step in front of the train the first time, and I just did the second time. I did have a stop already at 16 even, which was kind of a break-even stop, long 1606. So oddly enough, my next entry again is 1606. If it breaks 16 even, we'll get out of this one just buying the dip here. Hey, and if you're interested in how to buy the dip and why you might do it, just bouncing in front of an even and VWAP here, check out our video. We just dropped that one yesterday. Heading back to the upside, hopefully, is ACB. I'll take some out halfway, see if we can't head towards that high where we got out earlier. But Brendan has something for us. What do you got?
Another little one here, bouncing back to the upside today, guys. SNDX, a little oncology company, rallying today back from a huge gap to the downside. They said one of their popular cancer treatments will not be filed as approval with the FDA. So big gap down on that, but bouncing back pretty hard here on huge volume for SNDX.
Just accidentally had too many orders out there in XSPA, didn't do the math right, so ended up net long a small amount and then just immediately got out. And now I'm going to try working back into the short, this time in front of 85, guys. So XSPA, we've been shorted first on that after that halt in front of 95, now short in front of 85 at 83, guys. So hopefully if you can see the position board, make sure you're tracking this one. I'm not letting it break those even 5 levels, just sort of getting out when it goes. But a good short so far on XSPA. Luckin still hanging on for dear life as well. Brendan, what do you got?
Just watching Foot Locker here, guys. We didn't really touch on it in the pre-market, but Foot Locker out with news this morning as well. Held 27 on that last little pullback, so still obviously negative, but held 27, looking like we might want to test the highs for FL, guys.
All right, here goes backside here, CCL. We're going to get some out here, hopefully at 74, as this one rockets right back to the upside. Look at the futures, guys. We really got screwed on this futures move down, and unfortunately, that's what happens. We can't win. Well, we can try to win every day, and I think we'll still will, but right now we're negative for the day off this CCL move. I don't know why. I mean, I put my order at 74. It went to 74 and stopped, so I don't know what's up with that, but maybe that's a sign there to get out of some CCL. So we're long CCL back again, 65. We tried to grab those 74s just ahead of 75. Obviously a penny too early there, or too late, I guess, and we should have sat at 73, would have been out, but okay, that's that stock. We did take a little bit out here on LK again, 64. Our best out is 60, 63, 64, so we'll wait on LK and see if we can't make a little bit of money back downside on that. I'm still waiting for $1.50 to come through on LK. Other than that, man, I mean, Baba's still hovering around that level. We love to talk about Microsoft, and again, I wish there was more to talk about on this one, but there's not right now. Microsoft is kind of chilling out, making a move up 0.23%, so watch out here as now the futures come back down to the downside. So our CCL might get cracked here again at 1450, so we got to watch out for some of these trades, guys. Looks like it's going to be a red day today, I'd say.
Yeah, I got quickly stopped, and I'm going to go back in on XSPA. Failed break at 85. I got chumped out. 83 were short, broke 85, got out. I'm back in at a worse price, but sometimes it's just what you got to do. You get shaken out of a trade. If you're in the trend, sometimes you got to jump back in. At some point, I might clean this up so you can see the chart a little bit better. I know there's a lot of executions down there on this name. That's how it's going to be in a penny stock, but I am back now short at 82. I think if it breaks 80, the floodgates could really open up here. I mean, the stock was a 51-cent name, so just watch out. Once again, my stop is going to be at 85. I feel like we'll see what happens if it holds, but I'll go area stop this time. I'll actually be watching it instead of just throwing a stop order out there, which isn't always the best approach when it comes to a penny stock.
No. You could get wicked out. We talk about that all the time. Okay, CCL trying to make a move back upside again. So we're going to wait again to see if we can't get that one out. But again, it's all going to be depending on the futures here for that name. But that's that one going topside. I did want to talk about Alibaba. 206.50 is going to be my in if it does rip up. But what's up, Brendan?
I'm just watching Boston Scientific here, guys. BSX up 3.25%, coming up to this kind of 36.20, 36.25 high we made off of the open there. But nice look. They actually announced an offering after market yesterday, but showing a lot of relative strength so far for BSX, guys.
All right, Boston Scientific, good name there for sure. Valeria, what's up? You got something for us?
Hello trading family, I hope your trading day is going well, and also welcome everyone who joined us for the first time. Guys, hit the subscribe button and catch us every day at 9 a.m. Eastern time. You also receive notifications if you subscribe. And guys, of course, hit the thumbs up. Yesterday we reached 1,200 likes, so let's reach no less than that. Would be great if we break the record and reach 1,300 likes today. Each time we will be hitting a very fun animation. We fixed the audio, so don't worry. And honestly, me almost died out of the laugh because it's very cool. I really love it. Write in the comments which one do you like the most, me breakdancing or Neil and Sean belly dancing. And also, guys,
only one right answer for that.
yeah, Neil belly dancing, of course, is the best. And of course, guys, today we're having our new favorite segment. Our next trader guest will join us. Dax will participate and trade with us together. We are very excited because Dax using the same trading platform as us, P-Pro8. So guys, stay tuned. He will join us at 11:25. And guys, as I promised yesterday, when we reach 30,000 of subscriptions, I will floss for you in real life on air. So subscribe for it now. We are very close. We have 23,100 subscriptions now. So hit the subscribe button now. I'll see you later. Back to traders.
All right,
I sort of walked into that one, but that's okay.
That should be exciting with the flossing and the subscriptions and DAX coming on at 11:25. It's like you just said there, Valeria. It's a very, very popular segment. Our guest trader of the day. But Brendan, you are a host and not a guest. So what's up, buddy?
CLSN, guys, another one to have a look at here. 14% to the upside, coming up to 270. Nice look here. Almost 14% for CLSN. Some positive data on one of their drugs as well. Yeah, Valeria doubling down on her promise, guys. If we get to 30,000, Valeria going to floss for you live on the show. Really excited. Our good friend Dax coming on as well from Holland. He's joining us all the way from Holland, guys. Our very popular segment, Guest Trader of the Day, coming up about 11:25 this morning. So stick around for that, guys.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm just scouting NVIDIA here. Wow. It goes all the way back through 350. Back now to that high, 359.48 is high of day. It looks like it's trying to roll over. The second it really starts to get some sell action up here and fails to break, I'm hunting that short. Like I said, say a quick prayer. There's a very strong stock, so we'll see if we can't get into this one. And of course, there we go, all the way to 358.10 on that little dump there. So we'll get the first action to the sell side. I short this one at 58.10. This is one of those plays here. I think you can get back into maybe VWAP territory. So like a 355 half target is reasonable. You are shorting into strength. The market is coming back up here, but I got that high of day as cover, and I do have a nice little area down here for a target, 355.50 to 356 on NVIDIA. So first short of the day on this name. Let's see what happens here. Surf reload opportunity at that 560 mark. We just went ahead and did that. And XSPA still short as well. That one in front of that 85, which is trying to break right now. I didn't go hard stop, area stop on that one. That's why we're still in.
Okay, and yeah, we're looking at some stops here as well, just making sure that we're all fixed up. Another Valeria breakdancing? Okay, that's probably hit a little bit too much. Okay, here we go, guys. We're going to wait to see what happens here. We just got CCL. No, nothing happened there. Okay, one of my stop orders got canceled there. 14.57 back to the downside here on CCL. Watch out, guys. The market trying to take off here, and CCL is not. But so we got to wait for this to break. 14.73 before we even consider going long or doing anything special like that. that on CCL. But that's that call right here. We're going to wait for 1475, 1478 or so to break before we get back into that long game. Right now, we're just holding on to our 65s on that name. And we talked about BABA. We wanted that through 206. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it has to come back up here through 206. If we can get that, maybe we bump to 207, 208, and then even upside after that as well. But we know that Alibaba's in a little bit of trouble here with the government, and then not them specifically, but the Chinese stock. So here we go, CCL, just waiting for this to crack again. I mean, it looks like it's going to break back down to the downside here. A lot of these cruise, airlines, and whatnot getting hit today, guys.
Yeah, and reload on our good friend SURF. Surf is up on this one. We had a 560 area short here. We did take it out, didn't quite get low of day. I thought maybe we'd get a shot to break that 510, 5 even mark, get down to 490, took half of it out. Now I've reloaded back in. We'll tighten up our stop a little bit, as obviously when you make a bottom like this, and maybe if we hold higher than that 530 mark, you really have to start considering that it's coming back to the upside and going to fill in some of that gap. But for now, the short's working out. Another little 25, 30-cent scalp, and there goes NVIDIA to the upside. So tried fading that one off high of the day. Said we would in the pre-market. Flush came in, it came back to our price, we tested it again. It's just entirely too strong of a stock, so we'll stick to the shorts and everything but NVIDIA, it seems like, today. Surf, we just got some out. Next target is still 521. We'll get some out in front of that level, that's one we like. Still trying to hold for 490, so I will be net short. If it hasn't taken 575, 580, I'm net short in the 60s. I'm looking for 490 target ultimately. I'm getting in and out of shares in front of 521 as well. So that's the structure of Surf. If you're watching that one, not a ton of volume, so make sure you have some discipline in that stock.
Yeah, we only crossed up 20 pennies and missed. Darn it, NVIDIA, we missed that. We tried to get 360 20s there on that break. So there it goes, NVIDIA now to the top side. Neil was just talking about it. We tried it, guys, but we did miss it. We didn't cross up enough. I guess you got to cross up, obviously, a lot more on earnings season. We did talk about that a lot in some of our videos here, how to play liquidity on certain days and whatnot. So that would have been a good one there. But we missed it. NVIDIA, darn it, man, that's upsetting because we took a couple hundred shares there, breaking through 360. So it's coming back down now, but that's a quick dollar there, NVIDIA. So wow, okay, good name on that one. JD.com, another one of these. Oh no, we haven't looked at Pinduoduo yet today. JD breaking through 51 was a big trade here in the morning. I wrote that down. That happens in the pre-market, so we missed that. Bottoms out at 49.50 and now coming back. So if that one wants to come back, maybe so does Alibaba. So Alibaba's going to be the biggest one on my watch now through 206. Let's see if that can come through, guys.
I'm going to throw the confetti here for this one. Christopher Holcomb, your grandfather from Vancouver. Shout out to the West Coast. 100 years old. That's absolutely amazing. Congratulations. That's unbelievable. And he's a vet as well, liberating Holland. And what a good day from that. I believe that's where Dax is coming from today, if I'm not mistaken. So we have a guest trader today coming from Holland. I think it's fantastic. 100. Yeah, I hope I make it that long. Maybe we'll. Well, I'll have to eat less apple fritters if I want to make sure I do that. Brennan knows all about that. And I believe we are almost ready for happening now. It is 10 o'clock already. It feels like that happened very, very quickly, guys. So before we do that, I just want to let you know I only have 2 positions left. We got blown out there, and I'll flush myself down the toilet. I tried to short some of those pops there. It didn't work out. In one name, of course, that was going to be an NVIDIA. It is working out here. Luck in short. That's one of the 2 we still have on. You're not really seeing me take any shares out until we get back down to this low of 160. So I'm still short 179 here. I am taking some shares out now that it's back at the bottom, getting aggressive for that 10% return. Now we're ready for happening now. Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock Friday, 30 minutes already in the books. Let's have a look at North American markets. We are pretty mixed right across the board here. Some to the upside and some to the downside. S&P 500 negative 0.2%. You can see the Dow following suit here, down about 0.4% for the Dow 30 at this point. Tech stocks trying to hold in positive territory. Nice move or nice opportunity to be long a couple of these so far today. The Russell also in negative territory. Small caps are under pressure. Here in in Toronto, not really doing a heck of a lot. The TSX basically flat. A lot of the banks showing weakness, so I'm going to show you a couple of those coming up in a second here. The BOVESPA down in Brazil. A couple of people from Brazil watching over the past couple of days. How are you today? Good to have you with us. Let's go over to some financial stocks here in Toronto. MFC, one of them, 1.5% to the downside. We opened basically flat and then just straight southbound, making day lows, in fact, as we speak for MFC. TD following suit as well. This one actually gapped a little higher and then just got absolutely flushed down to 55.20 again, guys, for TD Bank. Last one here, Royal, same looking chart, gapping higher slightly for, or 83.80 rather, all the way down to 82 so far for RY. Stick around again, guys, coming up later in the show, 11:25, we're going to have our good friend Dax from Holland joining us with our next guest trader of the day. Hit subscribe if you're joining us for the first time. We'd love to have you with us every single day. Guys, back over to you.
We got a button for that. There you go. There, I don't know. We just got a bunch of new keys today, so if we use a few of them too often, it's because they're new and they're exciting and they're fun. And shorting Luckin Coffee is fun. Speaking of coffee, I feel like I've had a few today. Already going to be working on number 3, but Luckin, another leg to the downside. It broke that 160 mark, so again, you see, kind of have a pattern here, doubling out every single time, taking a few executions out when it breaks the key level. 155 is low of day. I got it set 57 and 56 in front of it. I'm now only holding about 25% of the position, just slightly over that to the short side. I did miss a short opportunity at this pop to 170, so if it gets back to that price, I'll probably load back in. That'd be worse than the price we have now, but that's okay. It's a downward trend. You want to short any pop you can. Surf, we're still in this one to the south side here, that small cap. We did reload. I got a little bit greedy. It got down to 525. I took it out at 525 last time. I was holding for exactly 521. That's probably a little bit optimistic. That was the level I was watching before. I think we'll take some off here if we can for the 25-30 cent win in this area. Still holding out for in front of 490. I want a 5 even break on this stock. I want it to come a little bit further here. As long as we're holding the bottom end of this range and not breaking back up to this 575, we're probably going to be net short pretty much all day long in this stock unless it hits 490, guys.
Yeah, I'm still looking. I'm still looking for a great opportunity here. You guys talk about ACB a little bit on the chat there. I mean, I do like it breaking through the bottom here of 1535. I mean, ACB's just been on such a huge run lately that, yeah, this one could come back through today for sure, and that's ACB. Yeah, you know, you did have a top here at 1640. It's kind of just bouncing around now. Another name that's a great day trade. Come on, NQ. We got to switch it. You just got to type in the name. You got to put the NQ. You see .NQ on here. That means it's a NASDAQ name, guys. So, okay, Tilray now off a 1 minute chart. It is fading back through now. It looks like there it goes. I was going to say it looks like it wants to break 9, and it does easily break through $9 here. So, Tilray nicely up to 10 and then getting crushed right now back down. Some of these cannabis names taking it on the chin a little bit here. So, I do like that. I mean, now I got to go back to ACB on New York here. ACB also traded on the TSX as well. So downside here, ACB 1450, 1458. That might be a decent burn as well. So we'll wait to see that. But I do like it for a bigger shares if we do break the bottom here. Maybe even get aggressive at 1550 as well, guys. That's coming right now.
I'm going to go, you said one, take it on the chin here, and I talked to it yesterday a little bit, of maybe it was yesterday or a couple of days ago, about looking at what other traders are doing and having that in your mind when you look for a breakout. So, you know, I had this fade strategy. You guys have seen this time and time again. If I'm thinking short on a stock, I have a pre-market area that 358. It makes a high, fails at that price one time. That's where I probably should have the trade. But the second time it comes up, there's people that are going to short this, the same way that I'm looking for it here. Yeah, it's a tight stop and you don't lose much, but ask yourself a question. If that short worked out for 10 bucks and people are going to be doing it again, that long trade, you're getting into, thank you very much, Larry, for the coffee there. If you're getting into that long trade on that break, your first out or some of that profit or some of that momentum in the upside are people looking at that short and saying, oh my gosh, look what I missed out on, FOMO, like I did, and they're going short here. And then you're basically exploiting those shorts with that break to the upside in NVIDIA. So as much as it came up 10 bucks, lots of reasons why there was an extra 2-3 on that break. I'm glad some of you caught it there. Always think about what other traders are doing and where you might be able to catch them in a trap to get those profits, guys.
Brandon, what's up, bud?
Splunk, guys, another earnings name we didn't get to this morning. Software company here, SPLK, up 8%. Nice move here off of the open from 172 up to 178. This is zoomed in, maybe, or zoomed out, I should say. I'll zoom in a little bit here, see if we can't get back to 176 and change and hold at that point for SPLK, guys.
Okay.
Oh, how do I miss NAV-B? Again, I don't have this one in the pre-market. I said why it was reasonable, and I don't fade it either on that little retest. It looks like 280, 290 is going to be your only shot on a pullback. It's already got to that 260, 250 area target, so I'm probably going to be hunting this one on any kind of a 20-cent pullback on NAV-B. That's over in the Amex. I'm going to be shorting that. Just still I have the only two positions on 179, well, now 178, my average price on Luckin. I had multiple entries in on that one. That's why. Surf still short at 559, again, holding out hope for a pretty big win on that one. It hasn't really broken too far past 520. I'm not sure that it will. I was talking about Moderna here, and I know, Kevin, you were watching this name. It's getting really, really sleepy here, but it is worth noting. It's kind of sliding to the downside while holding this sort of 69, 30-ish range. 69 even could be a break. This seems like it's geared to go, and right now, if 69 breaks, I'm going to be shorting it. We're only 60 pennies away. Let's take a shot at Moderna if it breaks at 69 even. This is just getting way too sleepy. Going into a long weekend, as volatile as it's been, there's no way it's going to hold a range of like 40, 50 cents for too long.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, not on that name anyways. We're going to try to get, yeah, I mean, I like Moderna. We talked about where we like that long through 72. Obviously, that's not coming through here. Microsoft, we take a small little long here and then just to wait, but the futures are fighting us. So this one's probably going to come out pretty soon here as we look like we're breaking through 183.50 right now. So we got to, there we go. So we try to give that one some room, but no dice on that. Small little trade there on Microsoft. We're not going to take a long until it does break back above about 184. Looks like a better long than that one, but what's up, Brendan?
One we were looking at yesterday, guys. Great second day move here for BJ Wholesale. Earnings yesterday, 7.25%, 7.5% almost today. We've gone from 35 to 38 in a straight line for BJ, guys.
Yeah, I got shook on XSPA here. You can be up a stock and not happy, and that's going to be me with this one. The first short was great, but how I'm not managing to get this little rollover, why? Because I was too aggressive shorting it in the bottom end of the range or on the way up instead of allowing it to consolidate and start to fall. And that's what I'm going to miss out on, that 85 short now into 75. That was what we were looking for. It was basically what we did at 95, and you could just rinse and repeat it right here, 85 to 90, same trade. No way this is done. 117 million shares. Every time it consolidates, I'm going to pick out a direction and see if I can't get back in. Could do it here at 75. We'll have to wait and see. Going to try to be a little bit more patient and not miss out on the trade this next time. Moderna, we have our order in, locked and loaded, ready to go. I know Alibaba is another one that you guys have been watching heavily. Bounced to 204, 205. I was kind of hoping there'd be more action at that level, but it snapped back down rather heavily before getting to 205 even. It's held the bottom at 200. If it does again, maybe that's a buying opportunity. I guess even better if it holds the higher low at 260 cents. So if it bounces off of that, I think I like it for a buying opportunity in Alibaba.
Yeah, 206. I like Alibaba long, so we're just going to wait for that to come through, though. But it'll be like 206.20. We keep talking about 206, so we're going to wait to see if it can get above here, 206. If not, we're going to stay away from Alibaba. But okay, we got Microsoft long, we got Luckin short, and that's about it right now. So we're going to wait to see what else can we find. Nvidia coming back to the downside as well. Any names you guys are looking at here? GE. Okay, we can definitely check out GE here quickly. You know, obviously a lot of volume. Actually, not too much today. 12 million shares on GE. Yeah, it is breaking a little bit lower. Only down 2.27%. Yeah, it's not enough action for me on GE yet today to trade that one. But right now, we'll find some names in a minute because it's upgrade and downgrade time with Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, upgrades and downgrades might be a couple of names on here that are interesting for you. Let's have a look. I want to start down here. SNDX, that Syndax I was talking about, down 17%, even with a couple of upgrades today. Price target increases on that one. Interesting look on the chart. American Tower here, 3.25% to the upside for that one after a couple of upgrades. To the downside though, finally ACB catching a downgrade. Really nice week for ACB. Hewlett Packard Enterprises earnings we spoke of to the downside after a couple of downgrades, and Roku catching a downgrade so far today in negative territory as well. Yeah, here's that SNDX pushing day lows right now. In fact, $16 needs to hold If we get above 17, might get a bounce back to the upside. All kinds of volume worth mentioning here behind this thing. Doesn't really trade a heck of a lot. Usually relative volume through the roof on this one. SNDX on the NASDAQ. Roku, 4.5% to the downside. Also, breaking day lows here. 109 about to go, guys, on Roku to the downside today after a couple of downgrades. Back over to you guys.
Yikes.
Yeah. I just mentioned to you guys, added to my luck in position when 70 failed there. So I got some at 167, should have been 68 or 69, but that's fine. Average price now 171. But Amarin here, a pop back up, and it turned right around at our 725 level. So that looks like it's going to be a good one. If it consolidates higher, there's a couple things you can do. One, I know I'm going to try at least one short if you can't break that top, but that's going to be a breakout long trade at 75. 725. The longer it holds, sometimes that's even better if it happens later in the day. NNDM was a small cap that had a similar pattern, and that was an awesome breakout. But it's all about reloading patiently in Luckin Coffee. In the mornings, you look for bigger trades. I think later on in the day, you're probably asking yourself whether you want to go in and out for some shorter term scalps, 3-5 cents. But I think at this time of day, you can get the bigger moves here. We short in front of 70, you get out some in front of 60, still holding for a retest of that low of the day is going to be part of the plan for me. $1.55 right now. Every time it travels after that 10 cent mark, I'm getting out in increments of 5 pennies here or there. So going to stick to that plan on Luckin Coffee. No reload yet in Surf. XSPA headed back to 80. I'm going to try shorting that in front of 85 if it can get there.
Okay, yeah, good looks on all of those, and thanks, Brendan, for Roku. We're now short on that one, so we're short right here, literally 109 break. So we're gonna wait to see what that one wants to do to the downside here. It's 10 cents in the money or so now, but Roku, we think it can go a lot lower than this. And again, there's nothing on the chart. I mean, Roku's been a beast lately, and we know that. And a lot of people trading Roku. It's one of those coronavirus names, believe it or not, just because of what's been happening, just like a Zoom and whatnot. This is again a 10-minute chart. You see Roku was only 134 a couple days ago. So yeah, this name, to say the least, is getting taken to the woodshed. So we are now short. It's a nice little 25-cent winner, but we are waiting for a little bit more here on Roku. Let's zoom back into a 1-minute chart. I don't really have a target. We can look at a daily here on Roku. I mean, 105 is with a 50-period moving average. You get some bunch up here. What is this little top? That's 110, so we're already past that. Yeah, I don't really have an out here based on a technical. We'll just have to try to play the momentum to the downside here and see if we can finally catch a decent winner on one of these names today. We'll take some out at 108.50 like right now because I play the 50 cents, and then we'll wait for 108 even, guys. Roku, a nice little win here.
Yeah, it just broke the short on mRNA. 69 breaks to the downside, so now we're going to initiate a position, finally trying to get outside of this range. The key thing that I think will make us really bearish on this name is if it tries to bounce up and fails at about 69.40 or so, would be very, very bearish on it. You got to look at this level here. About 69.80 to 70 is going to be relatively worth it for a stop. You risk about $1 or so. If you have a smaller risk tolerance, maybe 50 cents, you're only going to risk to that first level. Otherwise, I think you got to be risking $1. We know what can happen if we do roll over here. Certainly, there's an opportunity to get back to yesterday's close at 67.05. That would be a target for me. So you risk $1 or so to make about 2 reasonable trade here in Moderna. We can add to the position if we like, but I want to get you guys back to Luckin Coffee. I feel like if you didn't take some shares out there in front of 160 on that reload at 170, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice. If you can actively trade, try doing it. Take always a couple of exits out and then hold on to the core position. So last entry was at 167. Once we're out of our shares from 179, that'll be my average price. Currently is still 169. 3 shorts, Moderna, Luckin, and Surf. Hadn't had a long. I don't know why. If I'd longed reversal on obviously Nvidia, that would have looked pretty good right about now, certainly. But it has come back in. For now, it's holding that 358 level. I'm not sure if it's going to continue to do that. The futures are coming back to the downside. 350 should be support if it gets any kind of a big flush. If you're bullish on Nvidia, watch that level.
Yeah, Roku right there. We just took out 108. 17, so that's in 70, 80 penny winner or so on Roku. We still have half, so we took some out at 61. We took some out at, I don't know why 19, but we took some out at 19 down there. So 108.19 off of a 108.92 short. So nice little win there on Roku. Thank you for Brendan for bringing that to our attention, and some viewers. I did see you guys talking about that, so thank you for that little Roku shout out right there, as that's still going to the downside. A lot of stocks falling off here. You knew Fridays sometimes get a little slippery. We're going to see here what happens the rest of the day, but there goes Roku. We do not have a price target. We are short now 70 cents now in the money on Roku, but look, Alibaba, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to this name. I'm going to cancel my stop order right now. We put in stop orders. We're using the Day Trade the World platform here called P-Pro 8, so you guys can Google that one, find out what's popping off with that. But I am getting out of some Roku shares. We trade 63 different markets, so we can look at anything, Toronto stocks, Japanese, Australian equities now. So we're trading 24-hour shop here, including futures, Bitcoin futures, CBOE, CME, lots of different options to trade. Not options, but lots of different options to trade.
Yes.
But mainly all equities and some future contracts for you guys as well. But Brendan, give us another one.
A couple of little penny stocks going crazy today. Another one here, guys. GHSI up about 8%. Just took out this high from yesterday, 54, on a huge volume spike. So just going to check on GHSI, guys.
Okay.
GHSI, another one here. And Kevin, you're going to do this to me again. Every single time we look at Pfizer, I find a way to bungle a trade. It's like if I buy it on a dip, that's like the wrong time to have done it. But Pfizer breaking out here, bucking the trend as you mentioned, Kevin, breaking a nice little top. The market is holding at even. It's going to be hard for me not to try to be involved in this break on Pfizer. So, you know, it's right here. Pre-market high was 37.38 or so, 37. There was a wall here, 37.33. It's right in that target range. I feel like maybe you give it to the quarters. We'll try this long. If the market gets going to the upside, I like Pfizer. Hopefully it can hold up. If it's a move to the downside, I'm only short right now. Moderna's trying to go. Only in the money 20 cents on that Moderna short, so it's really not following through yet, but the story is not over on that one. First target out will be halfway to our 67 target, and then we'll see how far that one can go. But I'll see if I can't get into this Pfizer trade. I should have just punched in at 40 there, but we'll get in at 41, leave ourselves some room on a pullback to maybe get some shares in the 30s where I would have liked it a little bit more.
What were we talking? Someone, Jarhead there. What up, my man? Good trade this morning. I saw you tweet at us. Nice little win for you there, Jarhead. 16. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, shoot. It does break VWAP. And yeah, I mean, look at me. Just sitting here waiting for that. And again, we don't trade every single symbol here. We try to trade as much as we can. We missed that one. So good look there, Jarhead, talking about this breaking VWAP. Great little trade. You guys know we love the VWAP trade. And if you're asking yourself, what is VWAP? Then Valeria is the person for you, because she has the link. She's going to drop it in a couple minutes. It's to our Market Wisdom page where we continue to put up educational videos for you guys. Everything's free, so head over to our Market Wisdom page by Trader TV Live. Find it in YouTube. We'll drop the link very, very soon if you are unfamiliar. And if you are unfamiliar with it, maybe it's because you're an expert trader, but there are lots of good things there, even for the seasoned veterans, guys. There's lots of stuff that, you know, I watch them back, listen to Brendan and Neil talk. We look at different things. We put a lot of time and effort into those little clips. So please, guys, watch that if you can. And by the way, there goes Roku. So it's another floss here. This is more than, well, now it's $1 in the money. So Roku, thank you so much for that attention there, Brendan. That's a good one for us. Roku short side here, now down 6%. Well, it was now 5.5%. We'll wait to see if there's more damage to be done on Roku. But Alibaba's still at 202.50, guys. Can't figure out a trade on that one.
Yeah, and Thomas Brady, shout out. You just mentioned there, Pinduoduo is ranging. I know some guys might see that in chat and say, what is he talking about? You do have like bottom to top, pre-market top end of the range, 63.40, makes a run at that price, goes all the way to so that obvious support, pre-market bottom if you throw out before 7 o'clock, right at that 60 even mark, and then bounces off of that, heads right back towards the top. So if you have a range that's identified earlier on in the day and it bounces back and forth between it, that's a rangy stock. One of the things you can do with that, and I'm not going to do the short side here on Pinduoduo, is what I did with Nvidia, where you're short the bottom end or short the top end, long the bottom end if you can. Because of the strength in this stock, I'm going to stay away from that right now. If it actually does hold 64, it'll probably have to take out like 62.50 or so, like $1.50 comeback for me to be interested in that short trade. That's how I got burned a little bit in NVIDIA. Don't want to do that the second time here. Surf is headed towards the top end of that range, so I have to get back over to that name, guys. We are looking to reload 675, 575 is the top end here. If that goes, I'm out, but it's giving me a reload opportunity right now when it rolls over. Good timing because we're talking about a small cap, and it's time for our small cap recap with Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, yet another day with lots of opportunity in small cap world. I want to start with this one. NAVB still up 95%, even well off the highs, obviously, from the morning. I want to talk about this one because this is the exact setup that we spoke of earlier in the week when you get these really, really huge gaps on these stocks that barely trade. Otherwise, this thing does zero volume. Otherwise, trending move to the upside in the pre-market, and then you get this big, ugly rejection red candle right at the open. Any bounce after that worth a shot at the short. I was obviously a little bit busy and missed this one, but very upset about that. 290 the line here, $3 above that. Great area to work off of once we get that really hard rejection on huge volume at the open. So great opportunity there. 290 up to about $3. It's trading at 230 now for that NAVB. Great opportunity this morning. MDGS, we talked about 380 and $4 here. Give you a shot just before the open to grab that one down to $3 now. So that one also working to the downside. MDGS, DRAD, brought this one to your attention. Really has been kind of disappointing. Broke the bottom end of this range here, so trying the short versus 270, $3 at the top on that one. XSPA, obviously the big winner of the day to the upside, or kind of fading back to the downside now as well. So lots of opportunity once again today, guys, in small cap world. Back over to you.
Out there. I see you, Brittany Grant, asking about CCL. Not happy with my trading today on CCL. I did like the break initially at 15, and then I mentioned 15.17. If it couldn't get through there, that was a key level. 14.80 failed on that break up to that price. 15 has now failed at that price, and then still after it turns around, I still jump back into the long and then take a loser. So you throw away the profit that you made initially. Now it's in a downward trend, and coming up in literally 1 hour, we have our guest trader of the day, Dax, part of the Day Trade the World family. I'm going to throw it out here and tell you something about Day Trade the World. My experience in managing floors, I have noticed that when we get trainees in here, it's like double the rate in terms of graduating from trainee to a full-time trader, double the rate of success for female traders to male traders. We don't get many applicants. We've gotten 0 for our guest trader of the day. So Brittany, I'm putting you on the spot here. You see you actively asking questions in the chat. Why not throw your name in the hat? Jump in, join yourself as a guest trader of the day. Watch and see how it goes with DAX today in just about an hour. But Carnival, it's pulling back upside, downward trend. First pop was to 1470. This one's at 1450. Let's see if it can roll over here. I'm looking to fade this short if I can get it. I got a few positions on as I work that one in. Next time I come back, maybe we'll review the 4 positions we have on. 2 long, 2 short, actually.
Yeah, we can. Good little work there, Neil. And yeah, for sure. The more guests we can have on, the greatest. And Valeria's learning to trade here, and a lot of traders, a lot of success traders, females for sure. Let's update our position. Do we normally stick to the same handful of stocks and then hammer them long or short? Yeah, basically. I mean, I'm kind of a hammer kind of trader for sure. But I like to look at the same ones, including like here's one right here. Here's Luckin. I've been 1 trade today, short 179, but I hammer it. We use a decent amount of shares. I don't need to go back and forth, right? Neil's scalping it. I'm doing something a little different. That's the thing. Grab your edge, take the trades that you want, and use a lot of shares. That's kind of the way I'm trying to do this. Backfires on CCL today. We take a nice little 20-cent winner, and then it comes back down and you lose 50 on the rest. But here we go. Roku, 90 cents in the money, and LK, 19 cents in the money. Only 2 shorts. We're hunting out for more, like you guys know, so we're going to wait for ACB. I have Roku back here, 108.50. That's where we got out. I'm not going to turn a winning trade into a losing trade, so 108.50 is where Roku comes out. But look at the futures, though. big move up here, and if not big, but 7-8 handle move up here in the futures. And then what happens is Roku continues to catapult downside. So I think we got a decent winner here, man. I'm waiting at 107 even down here. See if we can't catch an out on that one for a $2 winner. I know those are the kind of names that you guys are looking for to get bigger moves on. So there you go. Roku right now, we're in the money at $1.20, and we'll see what happens here as it's now approaching the downside. I like the relative weakness, obviously, in this stock, down 6% on a couple downgrades. Thanks to Brendan for that one. Check us out every day, 9 o'clock when we go over the watch list. If you haven't subscribed to that, do that, but also send in your applications for Guest Trader of the Day. We have them all lined up till mid-June now anyways, so definitely if you're interested in that, hit us up ASAP, guys. Guest Trader of the Day.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly, like I said, we'll throw up the position board so you can see what we're working with. Actually now have 5 positions because we just talked about Carnival. We got into Carnival as well. So that we're short at 1450. This has not come up yet. We're short at 1450 on Carnival in front of VWAP, in front of that 1470 pullback that we had the first time. It still didn't come up. So apologies, guys. I'm not sure why that's not working. I'm also short Moderna at 68.85. We also have long in Pfizer. That one's not working out. I still like it, Kevin. Don't hate yourself on that one. 25 is my out. 37.38. We are long in that one. Reverse on Surf. We're shorting in the 60s, getting out in front of 20 and 30. Reverse to the long when that 75 broke. Already taken some out in front of the pre-market top here at 590. If this breaks 6 even, I'm holding on for dear life on Surf. Brennan, what do you got?
The one that's been good since the open, guys. HPE. We talked about the earnings aftermarket yesterday. Really big miss for HPE to the downside, still 11.5%. Yeah, just straight southbound, almost right from the word go today. 960 up here was resistance. You get that lower high, and then all the way down to 910 now for HPE, guys.
Yeah, all out nerdy coming on Wednesday. So from Alaska, yeah, we talked to you, and it was very interesting to hear what you talked about with the cruise lines and things like that and getting back to business over there. Apparently Alaska had like 1 COVID case or something, so we'll definitely hit the confetti for you guys getting on lockdown and getting that all figured out stat. So that's a good one, and we'll be excited again to have our guest viewers on from anywhere, guys. So as long as you have a solid internet connection, we will welcome you back onto the show at any time. So Guest Trader of the Day coming through. I'm still in these trades here. I don't mind looking at, we have some talk about Netflix here. Let's see that one. That's negative on the day here, more than the market. So that's generally a good sign for me. I like to trade those, like I said, relatively weak to the market today. So you get Netflix falling down while the futures are kind of going up. So that tells me that maybe we should be able to fade one of these plays here on Netflix. So we'll look to do that very, very shortly as we're just watching our Roku trade still come down. It's having a problem at 107.50. If it breaks that, I think we get that 107 even. So let's hope for that, guys.
Yeah, I'm just going to go back over to Carnival, just setting up some orders there in Surf. I want to be playing a pullback on that stock, as I mentioned, in the 60s in front of 550. Carnival Cruise Lines, that rollover trade. And again, we're a bit late to this party, but that's fine. We did miss that 70 roll. Now we're taking this 50. Look, we'll see if we can get this out, some of it in the 30s. If it retests the low, I will probably be all out of it. If it retests the low, I think there'll be opportunities to get back in aplenty. Both longs not working. All 3 shorts are in the money right now. I guess that shouldn't be a surprise to me. Came in thinking bearish and still found myself in a couple of longs. Luck in here, like I said, 155. I will continuously take shares out in front of it, allowing me to load back into the pop. So our first structured short was right here between 170 and 179, actually 180, check that. Didn't get anything out till it got past that 70 mark. We didn't load up until it tested a couple of times at 70. Now it's looking like it wants to break the low again. So we're going to be net short the entire way. Everything we take off, we try to put back on at the next level of resistance. It hasn't made another break to the upside of any significance, so I haven't loaded back into that one yet. Surf is pulling back, but I haven't gotten that reload. Moderna, you roll the tape back, and I kind of said there's no way mRNA is going to sit there in tiny 50, 60 cent ranges all day long. I go short when it looks like it's breaking, and it's basically doing nothing but sitting in 50, 60 cent ranges all day long. And I'm not going to be taking that for profit. First leg has got to give me at least $1. Second leg, looking at that previous close at 67 even. If it gives me a chance to get more shares and slide my stop a little bit lower, I might go ahead and do that as well. But nothing really changing on Moderna for me. Brendan, what do you have, bud?
I have a little one here, guys, just breaking through $1. Genesis Healthcare up 35% now. A couple of huge volume spikes today on this one. They announced full year operating results in the pre-market this morning that were better than expected. Also released some positive data on their COVID-19 potential vaccine. Guys.
Right.
Which one was that? Sorry, I missed that name there, Brendan.
N.
Thanks a lot there. GEN. Definitely going to add that to the list. George, I just asked you, if I'm missing a breakout, I'm not happy. Throw the stock in the chat if you want to let us know what that is that's moving. I know DraftKings is moving. You guys are watching this one. Everyone's watching this one. Big time. Wow. Yeah. 2860, that's kind of an obvious level there on DraftKings. First thing I'm going to do is quickly go to the higher time frame to make sure that I'm not going in blind here. Yesterday, looks like, good turnaround here at 29.25. Another level here at 29.40, 29.90, 30 even. Looks like there are going to be some stop areas. If it pulls back, it looks like to about 50 or so, you might be loading back into that one to the long side. So DraftKings again on the move. Great break. I hope you guys got that at 28.60. What a great setup there on DraftKings. What a great stock it's been for a day trade lately.
Yeah, DraftKings, those of you that have been watching, I've been smoking that one. And not today, not even on it. So yeah, missed opportunity obviously on DraftKings today, not on it. So we'll have to look for something else. Okay, Alibaba, I'm now back. VWAP is right here at 203.35. I'm not going to trust it on the 1 minute, so we're going to use this 205 break and try to go long if it can get all the way back up. I don't want to try to play a game with Alibaba here. I just want to wait for it to happen and then we'll hit it. So and a little update on Nvidia. We noticed that, or Roku, sorry, that it was dropping and not giving us back that 107.50. So on a 108 break to the backside there, we take that out and we hit a home run. I mean, again, I'm putting on a little more shares here, so when it breaks through 109, we do take it off. I don't want to reload anything. We take that off, so that's a nice little 70-cent winner there. And then we'll get the rest out if it breaks above 108.50, which is going to happen right now in the now. We are out of Roku, so there it goes. We do have a stock logo for Roku. It's going to be my number one stock today, which isn't that good, but we'll take it now. Roku, nicely out of that trade. Thanks for the win on that one. We'll move on and try to find something else. Going to look at that pen. Very similar to DraftKings, guys.
Oh, yeah. There you go, George. AstraZeneca, you're absolutely right. I'm not sure it's as easy as a trade or as clear a setup for a trade as DraftKings was there, but similar break, whether you're talking about through the open price or 55 even, whatever it might be, a little bit later on. If you caught that bottom, that's a tricky one, I do think. I like it if we can hold above the pre-market top. That's about 54.85 or so. It's bounced once off there. We're in a tight range. Secondary breakout through 55 while holding that pre-market top would be fantastic. But for now, let's go to Brendan. What do you got, bud?
Just watching VFF, guys. Some of the food producers moving to the upside here. Tyson as well, also strong today. But VFF up about 5%, just coming up to 450. Big level for that. Decent volume behind this move as well. Just broke day highs on a big volume spike, guys.
Yeah, VF Corp. No, that's not VF Corp. VFC is VF Corp. Yeah, exactly. Good call there, Brendan. Okay. Yeah, we're still hunting around, guys. The only position we have on right now is this LK. We're going to try to get some out again before 50 if we can. You sort of see how we've been trading it. It's been obviously a good stock for me today. Only one time in, one time out. So on multiple outs, one time in. So we'll wait to see on what that one wants to do here. Still moving around though. VFF, good one. We'll look at that in a second as well, Brendan. But right now, LK, I do have some bids down here, 56, 57, to see if we can't rein that in a little bit and take some profit on LK. And again, big trade, 20 cents in the money right now. We like I said, we take it right off the open. Actually, it was a little bit taken in the pre-market 1 minute before. So there it is, VFF. Well, you got that in my mind. LK busting down here. I'm still waiting for a 150 break. We'll go ham on that if that does happen, but I don't know. We'll wait.
I love the enthusiasm, the POW blog, POW blog, whatever that might be. Shout out to you calling out BJ, of course, BJ Wholesale making a big move to the upside. The bounce we're literally just talking about, at least potentially in a couple of other names there off of VWAP on a strong move to the upside. Looks like it's taking place, or it did already take place in BJ at 37, double top at 38. We'll see if we can't catch a quick scalp. I think here maybe shorting it in front of that high of day, and then it's going to be a breakout through there. Double top breakouts when you get a parabolic move. I do like those, regardless of when they happen. If you got to file that one away and it breaks 38 at like 1:30 or 2:30 or whatever it might be, 3 o'clock, I don't know. Had that one locked and loaded and ready to go. You know, I'm going to try fading this one right around here. I'll give it to the high of the day. I think you can make 40 to 60 cents on a scalp, only risking about 20 if you get yourself a good price. So I'll try it with a reversal long in BJ. So we're in this one almost immediately. Thank you for giving us this name. It looks like it'll be a spicy one, BJ's Wholesale.
Yeah, CCL, good call there. I'm going long this one, so don't worry about that. This is my biggest loser of the day. It's not that it's a revenge trade. I've liked the long on this one. I like the story. I told you guys that I thought CCL, this was a huge trade. We took a lot of shares here and didn't get enough out, obviously, as it comes falling in. And I average. When you believe in something, you do that. And then we get out, though, when it breaks through. This was nothing. This is the big trade here. Breaking through 1450, that smoked us. So now we'll wait for 1465 to break, and then we'll go more long on CCL. I'm not going to go short on this name, so we're waiting for that to break, and then we'll see. Hopefully we can get some profits back on CCL. Apple right now hovering around 318. Let's check in on our BABA once. Come on, Bob. I mean, earnings, all this news, and then Alibaba's stuck now, guys. I mean, it's stuck. It's stuck between 200 and 203. I mean, it breaks out a little bit here, but then comes right back in. So Alibaba, snooze fest alert on this one, guys. Not much to see here. Alibaba not doing anything like we thought it would. I'm still waiting for that 205, some kind of confirmation on that one. But right now, Alibaba not giving me a trade, guys. Nvidia still topside. We could check back in on our Roku. We're out of Roku, but we may want to check. Good thing we got out. Look at that, guys. Nice little trade there on Roku. Short and then out right here. So these are all the outs. That's nothing. We'll wait to see now. We're flat on Roku. This one's going to the moon. We'll see here. Still down that 4%. Watch the futures. I'm looking at JP Morgan long as well if that breaks 89.60, guys. Brendan, what up?
Guys, we were talking about Alibaba, obviously. Pinduoduo, here's the other one in that group. JD.com, also weak, down 3.75%. We had a huge flush off the open, 51, down to 49.5, consolidating here at 50.5 for JD.com. Another one to look at. Guys, stick around. Coming up at 11:25 this morning, we're going to have our next guest trader of the day segment. 11:25, Dax is going to join us all the way from Holland, so that's going to be very exciting. If you're interested in coming on for that segment, Valeria is going to send out a link that you can send us an email, and we'll get you all ready and set to go. Guest trader of the day at 11:25, guys.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you get that little short play, you reverse into the long and it happens like seconds later. So I did say if it happened at 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, you reverse long into BJ at 38. And it happened a minute after, so we shorted 80s. We're out. We take the hit on that one. I'll try to make some of that back on this long break. We got ourselves 38.03, decent price. Already scalped some out in the teens. Sky's the limit when it comes to BJ at this point. I mean, nothing. You're not looking at anything in particular on the daily chart there. One more to get you to very, very quickly. Moderna. Yeah, there was no way it was going to hold that tight range. Can't happen, won't happen. We just got $1 on the first half. Again, we are targeting 67. If that breaks, that's previous close. Who knows where this one could go? It could get very, very ugly, very, very quick for Moderna here. It's still positive on the day. When that breaks and it's going to go negative, let's see if we can't capitalize on that. I will short any kind of a pullback to 69. Let's see what happens. If it bounces off 67, I'll probably short a pullback to 68. So staying net short in Moderna, you had to be patient with this one. Good look there. BJ, thank you guys for giving me this name. It looks like that's going to be a great runner. We don't catch absolutely everything, but we try to catch everything we can over here. And thanks for that little shout out. Nice breakout trade. We missed DraftKings, but not BJ here, hopefully through 38.
Another one here, VTIQ, if you guys can see that, Brendan. Maybe you want to see what's popping off with that one, up 7%. Tried to take out 26 there. It does. It goes to 26.10. So we'll see if that breaks through there. But VTIQ to the upside here, big break of 24.50, and then rips up $1.50. So we know about VTIQ. We've been trading that name on the show, and those of you that have been watching know that. So I hope you are enjoying the show so far today, guys. As we do have another hour or so until DAX comes on, another one of our traders, so that's still to come. But right now, just surfing around, man. I still like CCL. We're waiting for that to go through 1465. That should be a good one. There's that VWAP just chilling there. So we're going to wait to see if we can't get some love off that number, 1465, if that does want to come through. But more to come, guys. PDD. Wow. Okay, here. Let's just check out PDD quickly. I know Brendan mentioned this before. I believe it's a NASDAQ name. Yeah, this one going in the opposite direction. Pinduoduo. We wrote this down to go long through 61. And yeah, that was a missed opportunity. Rate to 65. Wow. Pinduoduo for the win, it seems like. But right now, Brendan, this is my favorite segment by far in what we do. It's Sector Watch. Let's see what we're missing with these sectors today, guys.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the S&P 500, see what is moving the market so far today. A bit of a mixed story, a little bit of a sleepy Friday heading into a long weekend in the U.S. We are down, but only slightly negative, 0.11% for the S&P 500. A little bit of strength coming from the healthcare group so far today. We mentioned that BSX, Boston Scientific, up 4.25%. They had earnings and a little bit of data regarding one of their products out this morning that was better than expected. Haven't looked at this one yet, but just saw this A, 6.5% to the upside. Everything else kind of muted though in that group, but it is positive. Real estate stocks, some of those little mortgage REITs bouncing back to the upside today. AMT, VTR, and SBAC all up at least 2% each. To the downside, we have consumer discretionary names. Some of the hotels back in negative territory so far today. Wynn, LVS, and MGM. There's Starbucks as well, 1.9% again today to the downside for Starbucks. Airlines a little bit weak here. We also had Under Armour popping up here, UAA and UA to the downside. I just saw the, where are we? Here we are. Airlines are weak. UAL, Love, and DAL all in negative territory. 2.5%, 3%, and 3% for Southwest. The LUV, if you want to have a look at that one. Financials leading the way, though, as far as decliners go today. STT, SYF in the diversified group, about 5% on that. LNC and CINF, 2+% in the insurers. The banks are negative, but not as bad as some of these other names. So financials definitely leading to the downside. Tech stocks are weak once again. So we're talking about how the NASDAQ was kind of offsetting the rest of the weakness in the overall market. Not so much anymore. Led by that guy right there, HPE. Earnings obviously 11% to the downside. DXC 3.8% to the downside. NVIDIA though, 3% to the upside. So a little bit of positivity, underlying strength, we'll say, in the tech group. Guys, negative 0.2% for the overall S&P 500. Back over to you.
Right, and there it goes. LK finally, guys. Home run city. We talked about what we're doing on this stock. Big trade here. Hopefully you guys made the money with us as well. Confetti all over the place. LK breaks. We take more short 48, get some out 46s here. So we're still now holding that short. We're going to give it all the way back here, man. 62, 63. We've been doing this all day long. LK, my biggest stock. It doesn't even matter what happens anymore. I'm waiting for some more downside pressure to this one going to zero. So we'll wait on LK though, but I do like it. We are more short now. It's been my best stock of the day and will continue to be that way probably, as I think it's going to just continue to go down. I still have hope for CCL breaking through 1465, but that's another one.
Yeah, it's been all week long for me on Luck and Coffee, and as I sip the third coffee of the day, CCL, range-bound trading at this point, trying to break lower than 1440 and above this to VWAP here. So if it's inside the range, I guess we'll try to scalp some off. Sean's looking for a long break. That break would be me out of my short. I am taking some shares out here for a 10-cent win. If it breaks below 40, we'll see if we can't get some out in the 30s. And then in front of low of the day, I did mention if it gets to the low of the day, I will be all out of Carnival Cruise Lines. I'm not trying to hold through for a bigger move than that. Tends to be range bound at this time of day. Brendan, what do you got?
Foot Locker, guys, we're having fun. It's Friday. FL just breaking to the downside here. 27 was support for most of the morning. Just got taken out there. So even Foot Locker tried earlier to go higher, but no longer. 27 taken out. We're moving lower now on FL, guys.
Okay, Foot Locker. Let's check back in our JPM. Yeah, I mean, Foot Locker, I wrote down, I didn't want to get involved in that one until 26. So we're going to wait to see on that one. 4 million shares, so it's nicely doing some volume. We know that there's earnings on that. Here's the 26 break. It happens early and then bounces back. So we're going to wait to see on that one. I don't know if it has that kind of a move in it, but we'll wait to see. It's actually really done nothing today, but good break there of 27. It did it a couple times and then stopped right at this spot again. So Foot Locker, yeah, Brendan, you're right. Nice little breakdown here. When it comes to me, though, it'll be down more than 10%. So we'll have to wait to see if we can get short on that one. But right now, yeah, I mean, we're just looking for some more names. I do like JP Morgan. I did talk about that long, but then it's come faded back down. Brendan talked about it being weak today, the finance sector, but there it is right there. This is kind of the top. We're looking at 89.50 here. If you can get backside, I mean, look, the day's still young. A little bit of time left here. An hour. Now it's only 45 minutes till we get DAX on, and we'll see what he's been trading today. Maybe it's some finances. Hopefully it's not CCL long. But right now, 89.50. We're going to regroup, cancel my order on JP Morgan at the 70 mark, and then try to take this long, 89.50.
Yeah, we just got into the 30s on Carnival Cruise, and for me with this short here, 52.5 was my average price. Last entry at 55. I did go ahead and take some more shares out there at 37. Like I said, if it gets down to that 15 low, I'll probably be out. You know, something like 20 to 25 if it can get there. I'm not going to be reloading this one. I feel like if it takes out 60, at that point it's no longer making lower highs. So forget about that trend, in my opinion. So we're going to get out if we can at the 20 mark. But now that stop, which was going to be above VWAP, I'm going to throw it right here down to 60. So only risking about 5 pennies on our last entry, adjusting our risk as it goes in the money for you, giving a little bit less room to the upside there on Carnival Cruise Lines. That one working for us, of course. Still hanging on to Moderna. It's back at that 68 mark, so it's in the money $1. I'm going to look at maybe adjusting my risk if we can find a way to get back in. I wanted a more significant pullback to add shares to the short side. Hasn't happened yet, but maybe there's a way we can still do that. So I'll do that in a second after getting this Carnival order in. BJ pulled back to 38. If you wanted to reload at that even, it looks like it just gave you that shot. BJ's wholesale, that long breakout so far working pretty well for us here, guys. So I do like that one. Sometimes we get stocks that weren't on our radar at the beginning of the day, but end up there when we get a shout out. You guys give us a level. You guys give us a stock that's moving. BJ's looks like it's trying to make a secondary move. If it takes out the high of the day, I'll get some out in front of 38.50. We've already scalped some off already for 15, 20 cent wins. See if we can't get more. BJ's going to the moon right now.
Yeah, BJ's good name, and yeah, that's what we're looking for from our, oh my God. Just looking at this one, you want to talk about something breaking out here, Brendan. Twilio, wow, I dumped half of my position from my long. I mean, I was long this name $38. So, but Twilio, I dumped some at 190, and wow, upside here. I guess dumping some at 190, not a good move. Twilio, you guys want to see a crazy stock? And the reason why I'm long at $38 because I got on the IPO, but that was about 2 years ago, maybe less. Okay, 207. Look at this. They report earnings and just bang it to the upside. Twilio to the moon. Congratulations, any investors on that one with me as well. But yeah, okay, Luckin also coming the downside right now, 142. Those of you that have watched me trade that one know that this is my biggest stock. It's a money maker. That's how I trade it. We're getting ready to get out here at 42. Hopefully it can hit that. We do have a bid there at 42. We'll get out of some. We're not going to be foolish and wait forever. There it is, 42. Out again more on this name, LK. Brennan, what up?
Sean, just looking at this Twilio here, there's a news story on it. It looks like they're going to power communications for New York City's contact tracing once the restrictions or social restrictions are lifted. So yeah, a little bit of incentive there behind that Twilio move, guys.
Yeah, a little bit. That's good news.
Hey man, as a shareholder, it's floss off time, but yeah, we missed the move on the show.
Speaking of missing moves, we're not missing this one, Sean. Just alert to 140 on Luckin. It just broke. So for me, when it takes out those key levels, people get stopped out. I take some more shares out. It's been the best stock all week. Still, the reload price at 167 is what I have on right now. I just got some more shares out there for a 29-cent win on those. We'll see if we can't hold on to this one. I've been hunting for pullbacks, and I just haven't found them, with the exception of the 1 to 70. Luckin is going. Well, I shouldn't say it's going to zero like you just said, Sean, but heck, it might be.
What? Oh, okay. Yeah. It might. I mean, look, Luckin, I can't tell you enough, guys. It's been a monster. We'll hit this crazy thing again. Oh, no, actually, I'm going to do this one. It's a wheelbarrow for me today. Like I said, we go decent shares here, and like I tell you guys all the time, I'll tell you when we're putting on shares. That was lucking right up here and then just destroyed, guys. Follow me on Twitter. I'm going to be tweeting this one out. We go short. I told you we're going to go hella short again. I mean, rewind the tape. Everything I'm telling you guys here, this was a hella short, and I told you we're putting on shares if it breaks through 150. So you want multiple percent returns. Here we go. I mean, this is 180 on this short. That's 50-cent win on a $1.50 name. So right there, 30% down side here on Luckin today. And yeah, you guys are right. We've been destroying this all week, and it just continues. Thank you, George, for that super chat as well. It means a lot. As you guys know, we're doing this show for free, and even at double the price, it's a good deal. I steal that from one of our viewers because, yeah, we're really proud of the show. We're really proud of all the subscribers and everything going on here as well. So thank you for the continued love. We'll continue doing the show as long as we can. No show Monday, though, guys. Memorial Day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll show you what isn't working out here for me. Rather than put the position board on, I'm going to throw you guys over to Pfizer, which I jumped into the long trade in here, and I was talking over that with Kevin. Kevin's one of our traders here from the floor, one of our senior traders. I took this breakout on Pfizer. It's trying to hold 13.25 a couple of times here. I've got an area stop down at 13.25, really VWAPs at 22, so that's actually where my stop is going to be. I've resisted the temptation to buy more. Positive to negative story would be 37.26. That's the average price I should have on a trade like this. That is not the price I have here, and I don't want to make it an uglier price on this breakout trade. It doesn't feel like it wants to work unless a miracle happens in the market. My shorts are great, and the three longs I have on, only one of them was any good on BJ's wholesale. Pfizer doesn't think it'll work. Don't think it'll work out. 37.22 has got to be the stop here. If it breaks out, we're going to get out of this one, and it's going to be a losing trade on that long on Pfizer.
Okay, yeah, and like we said, I mean, we're trying for you guys here as much as we can to find you the winners and just give you the trades and then work them out as you see fit, right? Maybe a light green for me, ACB putting in higher lows. Yeah, I'll look at that Jarhead in a minute. Okay, 200 break here on BABA. I have to do it now. It's been just a negative stock today. It's in this channel. When it breaks out, 200, I mean, no coincidence here that was the bottom of the day. Look for that to break out on the downside. We are now ready with Brendan for Money Talks.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. Let's jump into foreign exchange world. We want to focus today on the Canadian dollar, still kind of stuck in this range. We've been in this range between 72 cents and about 70 cents for a better part of 2 months now, but still kind of back in the middle even of this range. You can see this is an hour chart, so you know, a bit of a dip here all the way back to 71 on that retail number this morning. So definite weakness to the downside for the Canadian dollar versus the USD today. You can see 0.5% back to 71 and change for the CAD. The euro also lower on some data this morning over in the European region, 108.9. So we're back below that 109 level, got all the way to 110 end of last week. So to the downside for the euro as well. British pound a little bit lower. We were actually higher on the pound to start the morning, but coming back in down 0.25% now. Swiss franc is higher. We also have the Turkish lira back in positive territory after a bit of a negative week. Australia and New Zealand also negative on the day. They had some data out overnight that also came in on the downside. So weakness across the board. Bitcoin to the upside today. When we started the show was 3%. So coming back a bit, only 1% now. 91.46 for Bitcoin. Ethereum 203, up about 2% for Ethereum. Guys, back over to you.
Okay, thank you, Brendan. I had a target of seeing what would happen at that 67 mark in our good friend even on Moderna. And of course, it bounces literally off of 67.15. I am still short. We didn't really get an opportunity to get back in. I didn't work myself into more shares here. So we still just have 68.85 short side. At this point, I'm not going to go with a trailing stop. I'm still going to stick with break even where we slid it to at our first target point there. If 67 goes, we think there's at least the low in the pre-market is going to be the next level. If it bounces another time off that price, I'll have to consider getting out in that 67 to 67 sort of 80 range. And then maybe take a breakdown trade through 67 for the rest of that move to the downside. Moderna working out for us for the short side trade. I got to get over back to Carnival Cruise Lines. We're still in this one, guys. It hasn't made any kind of a move up, but look at this range is very, very sleepy down here. If it breaks 30, however far it goes is going to be my out. Once it slows down, I'll just take the rest of these shares off and not try to get too greedy there. Really tight consolidation here. It is a holiday Friday, so certainly some of these ranges can tighten up, and you want to get more active in terms of taking your profit or larger positions, less volatility might be the way to go for the rest of the day today. One last one, guys, Luck and Coffee. We're not done with this trade yet. I still have some shares on, but at some point you have to give up the ghost. 135 is the current bottom. If it makes a double bottom here, I'll probably cover this position altogether. Our last entry was at 167. It's a great enough return. A pullback to 150 area, certainly a possibility. Hey, first ever watcher. Thank you right there, Ovid. Hope you're enjoying it. If you like what we're doing here, make sure you subscribe. You're going to want to make sure you get the updates. So you can join us at 9 o'clock every single morning. We get a watch list out, and we go through that, talk about some of the levels. I know it can get fast at times. I got 5 or 6 positions on sometimes more than that. So if you want to follow along, having those key levels, having that watch list is definitely a big help. And tune in at 9 a.m. every single trading day, with the exception of Monday, because the U.S. markets are, of course, closed for Memorial Day.
Yeah, good luck on that one. Yeah, closed. So guys, don't come hollering at us on Monday. Enjoy your vacation. I don't like holidays, but whatever. It just means the markets are closed, so that kind of sucks. But we'll be back on Tuesday. So we did take VTIQ here long. It does break through that 26 finally. So we took that. It goes all the way in the money for us. About 20 cents, so that's not huge. We're going to wait to see the spread is about 30 or 40 cents when it gets moving. So if you are on that VTIQ tip, get ready to rock and roll, because this stock, once it goes, guys, can open up. We'll get some out ahead of 26.50 if we're lucky enough to do that. But right now we're long VTIQ 26.15 on a nice little runner here. Let's just see what it can do. If it goes back to the downside, we won't let it go too much past 25.60. So that's going to be our out, 25.60 on VTIQ. Remember, slippage here, so it'll be a loser for us no matter what if it doesn't go. But 25.60 is the out, and we'll see if we can't get some more action to the upside. But again, the future's not helping any longs here today, guys. Just feels like it's a heavy market day and not much to do. LK back. I mean, we keep talking about Luckin, but it's been a big stock for us as that stock throws up all over itself. LK looking to make new lows. My best out 37. So yeah, LK's been a money barrel for me. What up, Brendan?
Just checking on that VTIQ, guys. Nothing in the way of significant news at this point. Did have earnings earlier in the week. One of those names, though, when it does get going, can give you a nice move. Just wanted to mention NVIDIA here on the way back down to this 358. Once again, guys, tested it a couple times already, but NVIDIA pulling back as well, guys.
Attaboy, Joshua. You know what? I'm glad you threw that super chat in there. Mostly because you got a nice little win on XSPA, but because when I'm trading a little too many stocks at the same time, I tend to forget successful trades earlier. I did mention how I got shaken out of that second short. I guess you could even call it the third short if you got the top. I didn't get that top there at 115, but that second short was right here at 85 where I got shaken out a couple of times. It's trying to test that level again. If we fail to break this 90 mark, I think it's going to be good for another shorting opportunity on XSPA. I was just looking at that now. I'm glad you mentioned that because I'd gotten away from this stock, and you don't want to do that when you're having a day where it's a bit mixed for me. Like I didn't have a good read on NVIDIA. Surf has been one win, one loss. You go to Bed Bath & Beyond, didn't work out on that breakout trade. BJ was a mixed result. First half was good in the long, second half wasn't. So a stock that I've only been winning on, like XSPA, I should be all over it, continuing to trade it. So let's jump back into this one. Consolidation here around 85. If it can't break 90, I'd love to see a test. When it starts coming back down, we'll build a short, see if we can't work this one back towards its lows. Up 65% doesn't matter. People got to take that profit. It was a 50-cent stock yesterday.
Yeah. Well, that's it, right? Yeah, you got to analyze all the profitable opportunities, and there's always a bunch of them lying around. So, including VTIQ. So here we go, guys. There it is, bang! So it is almost time, but right now it's money barrel time. We'll do the fancy thing soon. Those of you guys that know, it's almost fruit salad time, so we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll hit that new graphic for you. But there goes VTIQ. We take the risk there. You take a little bit here, so it's a little dancing action there. VTIQ in here at 26.14. I know it's hard to see. I don't know. I think I look great there. Okay, 26.15 to the upside, out there ahead of 50. Now let's see where the next run spot is here. And we're back from the dead here, guys, today. Like I said, our worst trade there was CCL off the top, but now we've made it back on a lot of these names. Let's go back to CCL quickly just to see what we're talking about here. This is the big time trade that we had early, a big win for us. We took a lot of trades, only 20 cents out was our best out, and then we just kept averaging before falling on our face here at 14.50, sorry, and now we wait for this to come through. I'm actually going to cancel my CCL. I don't want to trade this anymore. Luck and Coffee has been great for me. Roku's already done, and our boy Alibaba still hovering around flat. So we're going to wait to see what Alibaba wants to do. BABA. I thought we'd trade this more, but hey, if it breaks through 200, your boy will be short. So we're not going to cry over spilled milk until it actually spills. So right now, Alibaba waiting for 200. Hope you guys are enjoying the show today. Lots more to come here with an hour left and only 25 minutes till our guest trader, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to Dax, going to be our guest trader here on this Friday. And again, if you want to be a guest trader, make sure you email in. We are full for the next few weeks, but hey, we're going to make that room. We love doing it. It's a lot of fun for us. I see some chatter on Luckin here, people asking to go short. I did mention I wouldn't be. If you're sitting net short, you can hold on to some of your position like we've been doing, both of us, all morning long. I just feel like you get this secondary move as big as it was through that 160 to 155 area break. It starts coming back upside here. I wouldn't be loading in at the bottom. It's a big time move already from $2. I'm not going long yet, but a double bottom might give me a scalp long opportunity. So I'm not going to be shorting heavily down here. If it pulls back to 160, maybe you jump into something at that price. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing here in Luckin. So still hang on to a small amount of the position, only 10% left, and I'd probably get out of that if it broke 150, guys.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, so Luckin, yeah, we're still big time short. I'm actually tweeting this out right now, guys, and just so you guys can see what I'm going to tweet out as well. I just use this program, so it looks pretty gangster, but this is our first in, this is our second in, ×2, big time winners all around here on Luckin. We're tweeting it out, guys. Find it, me, at Trader TV Sean, along with the other guys as well. But right now, we all know it's time for Valeria over at the big screen. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to European update. Well, Europe is mixed today. Britain is down 0.27%. Germany is up 0.23%. France is up 0.34%. Italy is up 1.38%. Spain is up 0.45%, and Russia is down 1.42%. Well guys, quick news from the Europe. Retail sales in Britain dropped by a record 18% in April. Nissan plans to cut 20,000 jobs, mostly in Europe. According to French finance minister, Renault car maker could disappear if it doesn't receive help to cope with the fallout from the coronavirus crisis. Well, that's all with Europe, and I'll keep you updated. And guys, we are very excited for our next trader guest, Dax. He will join us in around 20 minutes from Netherlands. The most interesting thing is that Dax also using Premarket platform, so we are very excited to see how his working station looks like. And guys, also we've got the first lady trader that is going to participate in our show. We got a request from Maria. If women traders are watching us, ladies, please send your request. We would love to see you. And guys, hit the thumbs up if you want to see more women traders. And guys, of course, subscribe to our channel. We have 23,700 subscriptions so far, and yesterday I promised that when we reach 30,000 subscriptions, I will floss live in real life for you. So guys, subscribe to our channel and hit the thumbs up. We need to reach no less than 1,200 likes, and I know we will do that. Back to traders.
We love it. So happy that we're getting a female trader coming on the show. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Maria. It'll be a lot of fun to get you on there. I have a mixed track record on Codex. I know some people have been asking about it because it just made a big move. If I missed the big move on Codex, which obviously this 18-20 break, you can sort of look at the afternoon range yesterday, and a big time break just happened. The next level up here, 19 even, big time resistance. You had 2 sessions ago on Wednesday, you did have an 1880 top. Then the next morning it tried to break 19, couldn't do it, flushed through 1880. So this is a good turnaround point for Codex when you see something like that. I am going to try to fade it here for a very, very quick scalp. 1880, 19 even, you can't let it go too far past that. But it is a big break in Codex. And a secondary break would be breaking through 19. If it doesn't roll over here, takes out 1880, maybe jiggles around a little bit, then takes out 19 after it shakes out some longs, that could be a big runner and winner in the afternoon. But for now, going to try to fade this Codex trade around 1880 in front of 19 even, guys.
Very, very happy with everything so far today. We are waiting, guys, for one of these breaks to happen on Alibaba, and I think it's going to be this one. I mean, it's tried to break 200 there. It got as low as 225. Here it got as low as $200.10. As I watch the stock right now, a little itchy trigger finger here. I have my stop order in. We're going to wait, and I also do love, obviously this didn't happen, but I do like a VWAP break here as well, 203. I'm more waiting for 204.50, like this little wick here, but we'll wait to see if that comes through. So I'm going to go long if we can get back up here on BABA, and I am going to be short a decent position. It's not going to be a crazy one because it's 11 o'clock and I don't like to trade too heavily at this time of day, but we will be going short BABA here. $200.10 it looks like is the low. So we're going to wait for 200 to break, and then when it does, we'll go short. Just mind you guys, what's going to happen, I can already tell you what's going to happen. It's going to break 200, then come back to like $200.50, 201, before hopefully crashing again. I will look to reload if that does happen. But right now, just looking at it, yeah, there it is, 201.65. We may break and then come back up here. We'll look to fade it if that does happen, but we'll be involved with this one, guys. BABA break.
Absolutely there, Sean. I think BABA, look, that's a stock that I haven't even traded today, and came in today really thinking that we might be heavily active on that. At least I would be. It didn't happen for me. A name that I didn't even think I would touch, it wasn't on my radar, was BJ. I got shaken out of that breakout long, reverse short, and flatted that trade when it really just couldn't get going. And one of the reasons why I reversed short here, thinking was going to go in front of that 38 previous high, and immediately got out, was noticing, look at this trend and look at it bounce off VWAP each time. What in the heck am I doing going short? Just immediately got to that one for a flat. Could have jumped back into the long, but I kind of stayed away from that. A secondary breakout here would be at 38.35. I was hoping for 38.50 for target first, so I'm probably not going to take that trade. 38.50 would be a reasonable long, however. Brendan, what do you got?
A little bit of volume coming into GERN. They announced an offering aftermarket yesterday, guys. Big move to the downside today, obviously 16%. We just broke, though, day highs here, session highs, I should say, above 160 on decent volume. So still some opportunities. A little bit of a push here up towards 170 for GERN, guys.
All right, guys, it is that time. So here we go, guys. Those of you that have watched us for a while, it is fruit salad time. And why is it fruit salad time? Because check out what Luckin is doing, guys. We can buy a fruit farm now. With that, you can see today's fruit salad brought to you by, guess what? Watermelon, it looks like. Thank you, caterer. I don't know if you're watching the show, but watermelon, my favorite thing. Whoa, and yeah, lots of it even on this side too. So watermelon is here, and so is Luckin, guys. It's just been crashing down here. We just took some off there, 38s. My bid is actually now at 33. It goes down. I mean, I can't make this stuff up. It goes to 34 and stops. So we'll wait till that comes through. But I do like Luckin right now to the downside, guys. Big time trade. We talked about putting on risk, and there it is right there. And then, guys, just in case you didn't know, it's also code word time. Fruit salad, we did mention watermelon there. Someone brought it up in the chat the other day that some of the fruits we talk about are code words. So we just made this up. Code word watermelon, guys. So anybody watching that knows anything about that, act appropriately. Your code word today is watermelon.
I got nothing for that one, but XSPA guys here. Some of you guys watched that 90 break. I was hunting a short that never came. I needed it to try to roll over at 85. It never did. It simply broke. 90 was your stop level. Now that it's broken 90 and is trying to make a secondary move, just remember, off the halt down, it couldn't get past 95. So if you're long that 90 break, take some profits out in front of 95. If it makes a secondary move, you can probably pick up more shares at 95 anyways, and it's going to likely test $1. So that'd be my advice to you. If it fails this break and we can see 85 again, that's going to be a shorting opportunity once more. So you can take a quick long here. 90 stop, that's reasonable. You risk a couple of pennies here. But just watch out. That 95 level is not insignificant. Post-halt, you watch where some of those moves stop. That's where selling came in. I would expect to be some sellers that join the party on XSPA at 95. But it is a nice upward trend. If you are long, just watch out, guys.
Yeah, shout it out there. Oops, what did I just hit there? Nothing, it looks like. Shout it out to Joseph, guys. Yeah, my code word is always money. So there we go, guys. Yeah, good job there. Making some money today. Very proud of you, Joseph. You've been with us for a very long time. So always nice to see when you're cashing it in there. Good job there, guys, Joseph, today. Yeah, that's just fun. We're just having fun there. There is no code word or anything like that. But we're having fun with some things. One of our viewers mentioned that maybe that was a code every time that I said something like that on the show. But it is not. We're just talking fun time here. Check out, I think there's some merchandise available up on our site now. Not fruit salad shirts yet, but simple cups like this. This is a clean one here today. Trader TV on both sides. You guys can check that out, support the show. It's a free show, so support us if you can. Trader TV mugs now up on our YouTube page. And check this out, guys. LK, we just took some more out at 37. You know we're short at 48. We're short at 80 here. So now we'll wait for 33 to come, where it stopped last time, where I was magically bidding. So we're going to wait to see if that can come through again. LK, I said it's on a March to zero. I'm not joking. This stock will get delisted and join our friend Jeff Mendel over there on the pink sheet. So just a matter of time before that happens, just like this one.
I'm not sure it's a given that it even makes it to the pink sheets, but I mean, ultimately I don't know about that. But certainly we do feel like that delisting appeal seems like it's a bit of a formality, and it's probably going to happen at some point.
Yeah, exactly. And here's JCPenney here. This is what we're talking about with JCPenney. JCPenney actually got delisted at about 18 cents. So now you get it back over here. So if you still have shares, you're over here on the pink sheets right now. This is JCPenney. So just a little bit of, education there. Once you get delisted, if you qualify, and we've had Jeff on before as well, VP over there at OTC Markets, talked about some of the requirements here. But JCPenney right now, 13 million shares, but not really a day tradable stock for me because of the volume. It's great, but you don't get very big moves, and you got to use a lot of shares to make a lot of money. So that one, JCPenney, we're going to pass on that one. Mr. Wickens.
Another little one, guys, with earnings here. Another one in the therapeutic space, PAVM. We were actually looking at this one earlier in the week. They had earnings after market yesterday. A little bit of muted action so far, but 226, 230 area down here needs to let go. Once we get below that, lots of opportunity on the short side. Otherwise, I mean, 270, 275 to the upside. PAVM also one to watch, guys.
I got to say this, guys. Stop reading my mind. I see in the chat someone types in, is it a good time to reload on MRNA? Literally as this is happening. Someone also asked about those arrows. Purple arrows are shorts, red arrows are selling a long position. So yeah, I did reload. I got my average price. I wait till it rolled over. I could have gotten something in the 68.20 range. I do let it roll back through 68 before we add to our position. So 68.35 is my average price. I'll go break even stop. If it can't hold this range here, I'll hunt for a better price. But if it retests a low, we'll get out in front. If we finally get that 67 break, floodgates can open up this afternoon, and we'll stay net short in Moderna as long as we can. I'd put the position board up, but there's only two other names to talk about. Luckin, you guys already know. Carnival, I am still short here. I did mention I wasn't going to reload, and it seems like maybe that was a bad idea, but it was not able to break that 1430. It's now in a chop zone here. If it takes out break even for me at 1460-ish, I'm short for 55 here. I'm just going to get out of the trade. No reload here as it's holding up pretty well to the downside here, so that little bid at 1430, a little too strong for my liking to jump back in, and also the future is holding well. The ES, 29.30 at 3 separate times it's held. The NQ doing a good job, basically flat, and it's holding that pretty well as well. So that short trading Carnival, not loading into it. Sean's breakout trade, the longer it holds here, probably looks even better and better when it finally does come now, 20 minutes from now, whenever it happens.
Chicken dinner winners, guys. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be over CCL. You guys know that. But the chicken dinner winner is now here and present finally because we did it again. LK comes down. I told you my bid was here at 33. 2 shorts today. Bang, bang. If you only took those 2 trades, you are crazy laughing right now. But we're also very happy that in 12 minutes or so, to be precise, we do have Dax coming from Holland. He's part of the Day Trade the World family. He uses our platform as well. So if you guys have any questions that maybe we're not answering or whatever, throw them in there when Dax comes on. Great guy. We'll have him soon. What's up, Brendan?
Max R, guys, haven't traded this one for a while, but a really nice day here so far. 10.5%. Just broke $11 there on some decent volume. They provided a bit of a corporate update, announced a whole bunch of hiring they're planning in the near term. So Max R moving higher, guys.
Yeah, you know what? I just got a question here from Ken. Thank you very much. You know what? I was going to type a response, but I'll just tell you, great idea. We do these videos educationally. We'll talk about different topics, whatever you guys are interested in, and try and expand your horizons when it comes to learning about trading, whether it's day trading or some of the tools that you have in individual markets. So imbalance locator, yeah, we'll talk about that one at some point. We'll throw that on the list of videos to do. If you check out our educational videos, do make sure you comment on them. We want that feedback so we can continue to make them better for you. A lot of them will be beginner sets. We might have some future ones where we dive a little bit deeper and talk about that. So let us know what you think of those. Drop it in the comment section. We need that feedback if we're going to continue to get better. Speaking of which, I'm still short in this Luckin, and I just took some out at 35. Partly because I'm not saying this is an illegitimate order, this 100,000 seller at 136. But if it gets taken out or it pulls, I feel like it's probably going to bump up a little bit here. So I'll take a few more shares out there in front of that level. We got it out at 35. Last little bit now, 167 short. Not adding to it significantly. If it breaks 150, I'm taking it out anyways. Yeah, there goes that order. And here's another one here, right? So you move that order to 139, the exact same size on NSB. It's hard to believe that someone's just randomly throwing 100,000 shares out every 2 or 3 cents and it's kosher. So I'm not going to buy into it. That's why I took some of my shares out there on that little bid. If it bounces up past 150, like I said, I'll be all done with this trade for the day.
Eric, am I reversing BABA short? Yeah, no, I'm not in BABA yet. It hasn't done what we've wanted it to do yet. So we're going to wait for Alibaba Eric to do that because it's not breaking through. Let me just check it out for you quickly. BABA. Okay, yeah, so luck in there. We're almost flat, but I'm still waiting for lower price, but we'll wait on that one. Okay, BABA. Good call. I mean, I've been looking at this very patiently, waiting for a lot of different things to happen. And right now, yeah, I mean, I'm still not in it. All these wicks, it never traded up here, so I didn't get in. And then we're waiting for a 200 break. So that's going to be my reversal short. What I was saying was, if it did break, Eric, again, if it broke 200, I envisioned it bumping back up. Like, what can happen, guys, when stocks break key levels is, it smashes the level because guys like me and a lot of traders have stop orders at those levels. And what happens is you get in. Sometimes it can keep going and it's a monster trade. That's why I'm going to take it. But other times, and I think it's going to happen here on BABA just because of the consolidation, it'll hit the level and then we'll rip back up $1 or something like that, getting out weak hands, right? And that's where I wanted to then re-hit that short if that does happen. So that didn't happen at 200 yet. So I'll go short at 200 when it breaks, and then I believe it could possibly, I'm going to give it 50-50, comes back up to 201 again. That's where I'll engage the short, and then it'll be a monster loser because then I'll have double the shares or so, and then we'll be getting out if it breaks VWAP. So that's going to be my trade on that one. If you're looking for a long, then yeah, you got to wait for this to break 202, 203, actually 202, what am I talking about? 203 and change at least. I'd rather it break above this 204 mark, but we'll wait to see on what BABA wants to do, Mr. Wickens.
BLIN, guys, Bridgeline Digital, we were talking about it, I believe it was back on Friday, just popping up here this morning again, 15% for BLIN. A little bit thinly traded today. Volume is on the low end, but let's actually go back. Yeah, it was this day, the 15th. Yeah, back on Friday last week. Big move to the upside for BLIN. So back towards 175, 180 here for BLIN. Both were key levels over the following few days after Friday. Guys.
Good look there, Brendan. Just to, we preach transparency here, guys, and we talk about all of our trades, missed opportunities, wins, losses, whatever it might be. And I did say I would be shorting Codex if it failed at 1880, looking for a bit of a retracement play. We didn't have locate, so I wasn't able to get this short trade the first time. I'm not in it the second time. I still maintain that it's a decent breakout here if it can go. Just watch out. Remember when we hopped to the higher time frame and we looked at the rest of the week, even if 1880 goes, there was a test that failed at 19 even yesterday in the pre-market. So just watch out for that long break at 1818. Kind of make sure it clears that 19 mark before you really dig into anything larger going into the afternoon trade. But it has made a nice little bottom. This does look like it's a possible rallying point through that 19 even break, get you to 1950. 20 looks pretty reasonable on the top end if it really shakes out some of those shorts. We couldn't short it. That's the only reason why I didn't take that retracement play. Brendan, what do you got?
Another earnings name, guys. Pretty muted action right across the board here. But Deere, DE, up 1.5% still. Big gap up this morning. Consolidation then just fell apart right at the open. 148 to 144. We're sitting here just kind of bouncing along 144. But earnings were better than expected for DE, guys.
All right, Deere. Yeah, John Deere there. Good little name there, especially with China, if they can get that all sorted out. I know they send a lot of equipment over there, so Deere coming into play there as well. Yeah, okay, so just to talk again about what we have here, a little bit of action coming on Alibaba. It could start to break. You did get that bounce off 200, so we still are waiting for that. Peloton, sure, why not? Let's hit that bike right now. You got to keep switching the name over. Up, 46. Okay, nice little move. What are we up on the day here? 1.74%. Yeah, look, when these movers start happening and you get breaking of the pre-market highs there, thank you, John Wilkins there. Swish on that one. Thank you so much for that super chat. You can see 45, 65 breaks, and then you get some upside moves on that one. So yeah, if you guys are looking for that, wow, Peloton, good little runner there. Before we go, Neil, I know you probably want to talk about something quickly. VTIQ. Okay, look, so we take out and we talk about this is maybe one of the unique things about our show is that we're traders, we're proprietary traders, we don't hold anything overnight, we talk about our winners and our losers, so here we go. VTIQ, we take this real time for you guys, breaking through 26, get out at 50, so that's like a 35-cent winner. Then it comes down and breaks through. You know what? It didn't even break here, so I don't even know why this snapped out. But anyways, 26.50 we get triggered there, so that gets out at 51. So I guess it didn't break 50, but it doesn't matter even if it did. Whatever comes down here, that's a wrong trade. So we get out half of our position again. So I'm still holding half of what we had left. So right now VTIQ is a fall in a hole, but we still have some shares on. If it breaks back down below, then we'll get out of the rest, but I'm still holding this just in case it has a little bit of action to the north side on VTIQ, guys.
Yeah, just, I answered in the chat there. We do not trade CFDs here. These were all live trades in the market. I did say fool me once, shame on me. I'll try Bed Bath & Beyond one more time here. If it can break out through 690, I'm going to take a shot going long again. It made a nice little double bottom here, and it's trying to bounce back to VWAP. If it gets above, I did get burned on the long the first time, but I am going to give it one more shot. Feeling a little bit bullish on the stock today, so we'll give it a try. Brendan has something for us. What do you got there, bud?
Tilray, pretty active today, guys. Move into report aftermarket yesterday. A huge move up in the aftermarket, in fact, from $8.44 all the way up to $10. So we just broke that $10 level again, held as resistance at the open. There was a huge offer that showed up at 10, just got taken out. So holding above now, $10 for Tilray, guys.
Good look there, Brendan. Everyone's asking about Luckin, whether they should be buying it right now. I did mention I wouldn't add to a short position. I'm just looking to take the last shares out if it broke 150. I did take some shares out when we saw that, we'll call it size seller, down at 136. If that broke, I probably could have taken everything out when that got taken out or pulled or whatever it was. 150 goes, definitely I'm going to be out of it. It didn't make the type of bottom that would make me go long, but at the same time, it's a strong enough low at that 135 that if we can retest it and have any kind of a failure, yeah, I'll probably give a shot to the long on Luckin. XSPA looking like it was a good one there. I was doing a little bit too much, and I did miss out on that one, but I'm glad some of you guys caught it. Valeria has something for us. Let's throw it to her.
Hello traders, hopefully you're having a great day. Guys, shout out to everyone who sent to us super chats. Thank you very much, we appreciate your support, and also how great we reached 1,000 likes and we're getting to 24,000 of subscriptions. Welcome everyone to the trading community, and guys, if you're watching us for the first time, subscribe now and catch us live every day. Though there is no show on Monday on May 25th, as US celebrating Neil, what day US celebrating?
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day. So guys, we'll be back with you on Tuesday. Subscribe and stay tuned. And also we are very excited. Very soon, Dax, our guest trader, will join us. Guys, you can also participate. Send your request at marketing@tradertv.live and join us live in the Trader TV studio. I'll see you later. Back to traders.
And we are ready for Brendan right away here. Let's throw it over to him.
I saw GNC popping up on a volume scanner here. The supplement store, lots of people know that one, up about 12%. Big, huge volume spike. Just going to check on this, but GNC moving, guys.
Good look there, Brent. I see a question about VFF. I actually haven't traded this one. I was watching it. You're asking if you should sell it. The first thing I'm always going to do is go to the higher time frame. It is the first significant pullback on the way up. There really isn't a heck of a lot here when I look at this name in terms of key levels, except for this maybe 550 to 6 chop. So that's a little bit higher than where it is right now. Even on the 200, that's not for another $1.50 or so. There's nothing obvious about this turnaround at 5 even that would say sell it if you're long. I mean, everything depends on your risk tolerance. Are you a day trader? Are you swing trading? I don't really know any of those things for you there. If you were day trading a breakout at 430, you probably did take some profit out on the way to that 5 even mark. But again, like I said, there wasn't anything significant until $5.50 to $6 when I looked at the daily chart there. So if you're deep in the money, certainly worth a hold. You got to factor in the long weekend as well. Maybe you want to take some profit out. Seems prudent to me on VFF.
Yeah, here comes Bob right now. Yeah, I see you guys talking about it being on a little bit of a run now coming through. I think it's a couple minutes, maybe 1 or 2 minutes before DAX comes through. Okay, so we are breaking through VWAP right now on the 1 minute though on Alibaba. So we've been right about that, hitting it through. Obviously through 200 did not happen, so we're waiting for that. We should have gone long down there, guys. Just didn't believe in the market. Now we're fading back down. You got to watch out. Do not take I don't want this VWAP break. Too much garbage here at 203. I'd rather take it if we get at least a 203.50 or so. So we'll wait to see that coming here on Alibaba right now. Luckin, we just took some out. Where? 48. Yeah, that was our break-even spot there. So we took some out at 47. Like I said, we're super light on that one. It's been a cowbell kind of day. Luckin's my #1 stock. I don't need to keep telling you that. Actually, Luckin and Roku have been good stocks for me. Roku to the downside, really the only two winners we've had. I've been pretty light today. BBBY was a fail there. Carnival was a fail. Luckin's been monster. Microsoft, small little loss. Roku. And then now we have VTIQ still holding that, waiting to see if there's something. Look at the futures, though. We are cracking down here, guys.
Yeah, they're headed southbound on the futures. All I got left is that last third of Carnival Cruise to the short side, and then that last little bit of luck in. But I am watching ALT. Massey, good look on this one, rolling over through 680. It's a parabolic one. If it gives you, which it's not, consolidation through the 65 to 70, gave you one shot for that pullback short. If it gives me another, I'll at least try it here, but it's probably a better short if it holds below VWAP there at 660. So it's on the radar now, but we are ready for Brendan. Let's throw it on over to him at the desk.
It is that time, guys, 11:25, quickly becoming our favorite segment of the day. Guest trader of the day. You've seen him on the chat many times. Dax is with us all the way from Holland today. Dax, great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
I mean, first off, what is it like in Holland today? How's the weather?
The weather was actually quite stormy at the beach today. I was outside in the morning. Yeah, it's quite sunny, nice beauty temperature.
We're finally getting some summer-like weather here as well. So great to have you on the show with us today, Dax. How's your trading been so far today?
A pretty green day. My only negative stock was XSPA, actually. I made a good short first, but then I got a bit too greedy, and I waited too long to get out of the position. But the rest was really good. I traded Apple, Luckin, and Nvidia.
Yeah, it's been a crazy mover so far, that XSPA. On news that was a little bit questionable, we thought anyways. But yeah, going to bring the guys in here and we'll talk a little bit more about the markets.
Soon, there we go.
There we go. Dax, great to see you, of course, a long-time viewer. Can you tell everybody how long you've been watching? I know, of course, you remember the Day Trade the World family as well, but how long you've been tuning into the show?
I think it's been 1.5 years, at least.
So for those of you guys who only follow along on YouTube, we did do this internally. Everyone wonders, how do we do the show? It's because Day Trade the World is a sponsor. It's trading floors all around the world, like the one you see behind us. Dax, of course, involved in one in the Netherlands, right? Over in Holland. And look, guys, we were doing this internally as a teaching tool, and then we threw it on YouTube, and we're really happy at the response that we've gotten. Dax, so you mentioned that you were trading in XSPA a little bit earlier on. I feel like I've had a bit of a mixed bag myself with this stock, whether it was the long breakout through one, I took out way too early, missing out on that move to 115, and then the first short was good. The second short I got jiggled out of that one. I feel like as clear as the levels have been, sometimes I tend to overthink these things and then get a little too active on a name like this. How many executions were you doing on XSPA? Do you feel like maybe that was sort of it for you as well?
Actually, I tend to take small trades, especially today on a Friday and before the holidays. I like to take really small positions. So I got a nice short from 0.84 and then down to the 78, sorry. And then I took another short. I'll try to reload on it, and it just went upside, and my stop loss eventually got triggered at 0.87 again. So I got a bit too big position over there, but win or lose sometimes, right?
No, that's look, it's the cost of doing business when you take hits. As long as you stick to your rules, I think that it's perfectly fine. It's when you sort of let it run past the stop and then don't get out, or you say you're going to do something and you don't. I think that's where you run into a little bit of trouble there.
Yeah, it's my only negative stuff today. Actually, Apple, Luckin, Nvidia were all great trades for me today.
Apple, there's one that, oddly enough, I haven't even looked at Apple a single time today, and I feel like a bit of a missed opportunity. Luckin, we've been all over, both Sean and I. I just feel like when the market is sleepy, like on a holiday Friday or whatnot, sometimes you'll get a name like an Apple, which just doesn't have a lot of volatility. I can't say that's the reason I haven't traded it, but I think that's the reason why you're seeing this tight range in Apple. But it is at what looks like an interesting pivot point. If we pivot to the downside, 316.50 as I look at it, thank you very much for bringing it up. Yeah. That looks like a pretty good short. If the market rolls over and we can grab a 316.50 short on Apple, probably going to have to go ahead and do that one in the afternoon.
Okay, what did you, hey Dax, what's up, buddy? Again, thanks for all the support, and it's been great having us, part of your team, and we're glad to have such loyal viewers like yourself. What Luckin trade, I know, so I've been trading Luckin a little differently here. I just shorted the one time there, $1.80 off the pre-market, and I know, obviously, you're with Day Trade the World as well, using the same platform, so did you take it in the pre-market, or what was your style there today? Maybe you could share your chart if you have it, or it doesn't really matter, but there's been 2 executions for me here. What were you looking at exactly?
Actually, when you were trying to go long a little bit here, I knew the market was going down for a bit. I took a very small position at 1.60 and then added more at 1.65. Then it went down to 1.56, and then I got out of the short right there.
Okay.
Like I said, today is a bit of a choppy day, so I tend to take smaller positions. So it doesn't really matter if the market moves high or low really fast.
Right.
I could just move my stop if necessary, or get out when it's going too bad. But yeah, it's been a pretty good day for me today.
Okay, great job here. And it's getting a much better day for me right now because kabang, there it is, a little cowbell here. We're in the position. We didn't take anything out, so we're not celebrating a winner, but finally we are into a position here on Alibaba. I hope I didn't get a little too thrifty here because this is normally, we talked about going long at 202.80 here where VWAP normally breaks. I waited on this one, guys, until we got above these kind of candles here. We talked about that as well, 203.30. So that's where I'm stuck long right now. It's a decent position, so I could lose a decent amount of money, but we'll wait to see here if it does come out. We'll get out of probably half of this trade if it does break back down below 202 here, but you got to give Baba some room. Do you often trade different styles like that? Like Luckin is going to be a way different style than Apple. Are you one of the guys that waits for what is actionable on that day? Do you study the night before? Do you wait for some news like that XSPA today? I just noticed that your style seems to be a lot different depending on the stock. Is that something that you've done for a while, or just what you've picked up from us, or?
Actually, a bit of both. As you know, I'm in Europe, so in the morning I didn't trade Dutch names or Paris, a lot of the stocks there. And those stocks are quite slow moving. So in that sense, perfected is a big word. I trade slow moving stocks.
Yep.
So America was a bit of a challenge for me. So watching you guys, I'd rather take smaller positions and go faster, go in and out, more scalping, than hold them for longer, to be honest. I do leave some money on the table. You're doing that, but it gets me profits.
Yeah, you got to play your edge, right? I mean, that's what it's all about there. Like, we have the advantage, of course, with low fees, and you make active trades here. So that's going to be in our toolbox to get in and out very, very actively. Sometimes we do hold a little bit longer, like I'm sitting in CCL here for about an hour now in this trade to the short side. And again, look, it doesn't break out for break even for me. I am looking to see if it can take out that 1430. If it does, we're going to get out in front of that low of the day, like I've said all along here. We do have a question, though, Dax. I see this one in the chat. Batista Del Rio, they want to know, when did you decide to become a trader, and how was that for you?
Actually, my former boss, who opened the first Day Trade the World office in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam, I was working for him. And at first, I was just managing the traders, managing the office. But I kind of got a feel for it. I said, I want to do this too. And that's when I started. And at first, I failed so long. I've been trying different strategies, trying to work out what was best for me, and you lose a lot of money. Luckily, there's a training version of P/8. And yeah, I just work with that every single day. Every single day, I trade, watching you guys, more trading, watching you guys. Eventually, I just got better.
I love it. That's one thing I don't think we even say that enough, Sean. I was
just gonna say, how did we forget about it?
Yeah, there's a simulator that we trade on P/8. You guys will see our setup, but there is a fantastic simulator. All the traders, when they come in and start on the floor, they're in that simulator for like 1 to 3 months. That's just the reality. That's how we do things here. It's a good one. You prove yourself there. Even when you become a full-time trader, you have to earn your buying power. You earn more risk. That's what trading is about. It's about development. You got to put that work in. But yeah, we do have a simulator. I know we're trading live, so we don't talk about it enough. Brendan, what do you have something for us there?
Yeah, a little bit of news to the cannabis space, Dax. Always an exciting space. We'll talk about some news on OGI here. Organogram up 3% today. They announced their plans for getting some of their employees back to work, guys. So popping up here on decent volume today as well. OGI, if you like the little ones, this one, lots of liquidity too, guys.
Okay, Organogram, yeah, we've been looking at ACB today. I haven't really traded, I haven't traded at all. It was my number one stock yesterday. Just reviewing this Alibaba trade again. Man, you think it's going to go here, and it's just not doing anything. So I was going to say ACB, but this is Alibaba. We take that long on the break. It looks like we're stuck at the same spot as everybody here, 203.40. It doesn't want to do anything. I'm going to give it a little bit of room down here to 202. It looks like it's going to break 202.90. We'll get out of a little bit of our trade if that does break, and then we'll hold the rest all the way back down here to 202. I'm not going to be lulled to sleep on this one. We're just going to get out of it if it doesn't go, and then I'm going to retest it again. And that's one thing that I like to do, Dax, is basically, and I think you talked about patient and different styles, and sometimes if you're in a stock there and it's wrong, that's fine. You're not always going to make the winners as consistently as you want them to. And some days you get blown out pretty big, and some days you hit the winners pretty big, and that's what's going to happen. And that's why I'm glad you talked about going into simulation. That's paper trading. So if you hear us use that terminology a lot of the time, that's a good one. And I've tested my strategy a bunch of times, and if it's going to break back down, then I'm going to get out. I'm not going to hold, and I'm going to reload. Did a lesson like that, maybe, Dax, when you first started, I'm sure you sat there in a bunch of big losers, and that's probably one of the biggest things that you've corrected now that you've become a successful trader.
I think that, like I said on Twitter, this is the most challenging business I've ever been in my whole life. Mostly to getting into control of your emotions, because trading is a very emotional business. having stop losses there to prevent getting emotional, removing all the FOMO. But I had some big losses, man. I had, I think I was trying to be cool, and I made my daily net loss really big so I could risk a lot of money, thinking that I could probably make it back. But I then started losing hundreds, 200s, 400s, and it just went down. Luckily, I was practicing, of course, but moving down, I just felt so bad the entire day. I couldn't make any good trade for the entire week, I think.
Well, I think one of the best things about when you're learning as a trader, or even later on when you're more experienced, I think, is understanding the concept that like nobody wins 100% of the time. And once you realize that even if you're successful, you'll have negative trades, you'll have negative days, you start to realize that, hey, when it happens, if I'm 8 for 10, that's a great day. You never harp on losing trades. And for me, sometimes the best trade you make is avoiding a bigger loss, sticking to a plan, and saving yourself money. Like you guys were watching Moderna yesterday, which was a huge win, and then today tried to repeat that same magic. I did short that 69. It looked like it was going to be a big time winner. I thought we could break that low a day at 67, get more than a $2 win. Didn't happen. It bounced off 67. I don't get out. It tries to bounce up. I was looking for a rollover and a reload, which we did. I get back some more shares in, bringing my average price to 68.30. At that point, I said break even stop, because if it goes above here, it's reversing that trend, probably headed to VWAP. We get out. If I don't get out there, I'm giving it all back into VWAP, because there's no way I'm not getting out at 69. So if you don't stick to your rules in that situation, you go from winning on Moderna, hoping for a home run, to negative on the stock, the amount that you were hoping to make. Right now, we're still up because we did stay disciplined with it. And I'm happier with that trade than honestly with the Luckin trade, because it's so easy to go away from your rules thinking, yeah, man, it's going to hold VWAP and be an absolute home run. I'll get even more. Just keep averaging in. You can't do that. You get yourself into a lot of trouble there. So I try to stay away from it. Speaking of mistakes, what were the first mistakes that you started making when you were a beginner trader? Like, what was your biggest hurdle that you had to get over?
Okay. I think this is a very important one. Forgetting your stop loss. Don't ever forget a stop loss, because you'll think, and don't use mental stop losses either, because you'll just think, it'll never hit my stop loss, or I'll just get out when it reaches this point. You never will, because if you don't have a hard stop loss, you're just going to let it go right past it, and you'll lose more money than you wanted to in the first place. I think that's the biggest one ever, not having a stop loss, especially with big share sizes. Not getting out on time, it ruins your day.
100%. And the only thing I'll say to that is every once in a while, you are all jokes aside, you will hear me say I'm putting in an area stop, and most times I'll use stop order. There are trades where I don't want to have like a hard automatic trigger stop that just fires an order out. Sometimes it's on a penny stock, depending on how you're trading it, your style, your share size. Sometimes I don't like doing it. If that's ever the case, I'll have the level 2 up next to me. I am like doing this, looking back and forth to make sure I don't miss my stop in that case. You're trying to do your best, but the hard stop as a beginner definitely helps you out to maintain that discipline. Brendan, what do you have for us, bud?
No, it's a great point. I wanted to just reiterate that what you guys were saying. Basically, you should get to a point where you're constructing a trade or thinking about entering a trade in that kind of scenario where you're talking about, okay, where am I wrong if I get in here, and then building your trade or planning your trade around that stop level. And that should be your first thought always when planning the trade. Just wanted to mention this one as well, guys. CGC 4.2% now, just broke $19 for CGC, having a good day as well, guys.
Nice, there it is. And right on cue there, guys. My Alibaba, you like that cannabis Batman. We're not allowed to say certain other words. Okay, so here you go. Like you mentioned there, I trade with little big shares. So Alibaba goes down, breaks this VWAP there, and we get out at 202.85 out of 40% of our position. So we're back in it now. Our big out is going to be down here at 202, and I think that's exactly right. You got to have your outs. Look, if you're playing little shares, then who cares? Average in, do whatever, practice. But if you are going to actually, make real money and use real shares, you got to have an out. And I think that's a very valuable lesson that you've given to some of our traders, and that's what I do. Anyways, that's why you see 1 or 2 ins. ins and then 1 or 2 outs on a lot of these big stocks because we're using big shares. JP Morgan, we do get in here on 89.50 break, and the same kind of thing's happening to me right now again. So if we come back down here to 89.30, and it's kind of like a sleepy time in the day, but if the futures do get going, I do like JP Morgan coming back to the upside here. So we're only long right here, 89.50. It only went in the money like 6 or 7 pennies, but we're bouncing around on here. Dax, I ask all of our viewers basically the same question, and why we do this is because we're trying to make the show better. We're trying to see what people want. You know, why should people, I mean, our subscriptions have been rising like crazy, and a lot of that is due to the viewers. A lot of that is due to the viewer feedback and the love that we get from you guys. So I'm going to put you on the spot here and say, why should people subscribe to this channel and keep coming back every single day?
That's a great question. Like I said, it's a very challenging business to be in, and I don't think I would have been on the level that I am now, a profitable trader, if I haven't watched you for every day in the last 1.5 years. So that's why people need to watch your show.
Good. Well, thank you. Hey, we're here to learn. And the other thing that helps too is if you have lucky frogs like this. So yeah, look, no matter how experienced you are, I think that's a great point there, Dax. You can just learn from everybody. I mean, myself learning from Neil, Brendan, all the viewers as well, giving us some names. We talked about BJ today. That came through. That was something that we weren't looking at. Learning different stops. I went over there and talked to Arun today about that first CCL trade. We talked about, you know, trading being a wild ride. You're going to win some days and lose the others. The important thing is that you have a plan of action and execute it properly. So great answer. There you guys go. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Even Dax tells you to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. I did see a comment in there, and Chicago 1807, I know you were in the chat actively almost every single day. We love your activity. I want to add to your comment. You mentioned only trade 500 shares. I want to say that it's good to have a risk level where you say this is the amount I'm risking per trade, whether it's like 20% of my stop loss. If you're only going to risk 1,000, individual trades are only 200. What I will say there is when it's share size, you should be thinking in terms of notional value a little bit more than just the random share size, because if you're trading going from like Luckin, which is $1.50, to ALT, which is $6.50, to Moderna, which I'm trading, which is $70, if you just only do 500 shares for each of them, it makes literally no sense. So if you have like a notional value, whether it's like $2,000, $10,000 dollars per trade, that's more reasonable to me. I like to look at it that way. Dax, what's your approach to share sizing or risking per trade or risking per day? How do you approach that in the morning when you're setting up?
That actually depends on, I think for new traders, especially using the P4A program. By the way, Bala is going down like really bad.
Yeah, I see that.
Nice, very good. Okay, so I tend to look at what my net loss is. So if you're starting out, it's only 30. When you're like live for the first time ever, it's only $30 or euros. And I try not to risk more than 25% of my daily net loss. So it's $7 if you're only in 30. If you're allowed to risk more, then you can take bigger risk, bigger share sizes. Basically, it all depends on the volume. It depends for me on the price of the stock. Basically, there's lots of factors I weigh in. And like for this morning, I was out in the morning, so I did my research like a half hour before the market opens. Then I don't feel as prepared, so I take smaller share sizes. It doesn't really matter how much. It depends on what the stock is doing at a certain minute.
Absolutely. We love having this guest segment because I think every single time, even if it's the same types of questions, you get different types of answers, more in depth here or there. Everyone can learn something. I love the fact that the second you came on here, there's all kinds of chatter. People are asking questions. Other people are answering the ones that are brought up. And hey, great call there. There we go. Daryl with the super chat. And to Kevin. And Dax, you're a member of our day trading family. Kevin, for everyone who is in the chat right now, Kevin Carter is one of our traders on the floor, senior trader. Usually he'd be, these guys would be on the floor with us, of course, with social distancing. That's not happening, but he's answering your questions. He's giving calls just as well. He's also live trading, even though you're not seeing him live on the show. So shout out to him, and thank you very much, Daryl, for that super chat on Kevin's behalf. Kevin, keep those calls coming. Hopefully we'll have a fantastic afternoon as well as the morning has been here.
Yep, exactly. And yeah, it's been a good one here. Only 15 minutes to go, guys.
Oh, wow.
Remember, no show on Monday, Memorial Day. So it's not a holiday there in Europe, is it, Dax?
It's It's a holiday. I don't remember the English name for it. We call it Pinkster. It's second Pinkster Day, so it's like a boxing, like a bank holiday. So I think the markets are closed as well here.
Okay, yeah, I mean, no one's happy when the markets are closed because,
No.
hey, we all want to be trading. But what you can always be doing is sort of like, look, if you're hankering for the markets, go over your trading for the week. Know what earnings or whatever economic data could be coming out in the following week. Prepare yourself. Don't overdo it, however, because you don't want to overthink things. That happens to a lot of traders on the first day of a new week. You've overthought things. I try not to do that, but I always try to pay attention to whatever Brennan says because he brings the juice. What do you got, buddy?
I actually have a question for Dax. Well, I'm just going to expand a little bit on this conversation, Dax. I love the point you were making about controlling your risk when you're starting off and how important it is to get comfortable slowly with controlling your risk and understanding how stops work and why they are so important with trading. I think another thing that people tend to have difficulty with as they're progressing with their trading is building up, is ramping up share size and getting bigger and starting to make actual money. Talk a little bit about the challenges that subject raises and how you were able to kind of overcome that.
I think a lot of traders, especially in the beginning, when they start from starting really small to going really big, I think they kind of miss the ramping up part. I think if you get better every week, every month, every year, you can slowly add to your position. Because I think if you go too fast on ramping up your position, you get bigger, you'll start losing control real fast, and then you'll lose more trades again, and then you'll feel really bad, emotional even, and you feel like you have to start all over. But if you ramp up slowly, like for instance, I'll take 1,000 shares on 100 shares on Baba now, and in a few months I'm going to try 200 or 400 or 500, that kind of way. To start slow and don't want to go too fast. Trust the process on the trading, really.
Yeah, I mean, great points. Obviously, it's very important, I think, to understand and reiterate that point that you have to get an understanding for how much each 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, depending on your stop, is worth. And I mean, Neil, you made a great point as well on how trading smaller stocks versus higher price stocks, they're going to range in risk as well. You can't just throw 500 shares at every single trade that you're going to take and expect to have the same risk. So, guys, take it away.
Yeah, and I probably should have explained notional value. I just mean the actual dollar value that you're putting into the stock, so the number of shares times the price of the stock is what I'm talking about there, because then you can start thinking about percentage type moves. If I think this stock, like if I think Luckin, the sweet spot is 10% at a time, you'll hear me say that with small caps, you already know how much you're investing and you can sort of hash that one out, whereas Apple, if it moves 10%, something's gone wrong in that stock. So you're thinking about 1% move would be great, 2%, 3%, fantastic in an Apple. You think in those terms when you know how much you're investing. I just mentioned it in the chat, and I said I wouldn't go short again in Luckin, but there is a bit of a seller. 150 was my out anyways. So I'm gonna jump in here just short in front of 150, and this is more of a scalp trade, guys. I short here at the midpoint, actually 148.5. And then if it breaks 50, I'm out, lose a couple of pennies. But I do feel like if it does want to turn here, yeah, you probably can make 5 to 10. So it's a bit of a sleepy trade around lunchtime that I'll put on, but I'm not going to let it get past that 150 mark. And it's not a stop, because a stop order will trigger if it ticks 151. I'll trigger and I'll probably get out at 52 or 53. I'm just going to sit here and manually get out at 150 if it's going, save myself a cent or two. If you're doing a trade where your upside is 5, I'm not going to throw away an extra penny or two on a stock like Luckin. There's so much liquidity here at 150, should be no trouble getting out.
I see you guys asking a little bit about CCL now. Yeah, 14.45. No, I mean, I'm not in it. I mean, this is not doing anything at all. Right now, I'm just busy losing money in Alibaba. But 14.50 here, yeah, 14.37. This is kind of what I'm talking about when we look at stocks and it being consolidation and then not doing anything. So you need to get at least above some of these levels here. And I don't even want to go long anymore, but 14.60, really? I do think if that breaks, there's something there. I mean, yeah, depends on the amount of shares you're trading, but yeah. I don't find it fun to trade a couple hundred shares. We want to trade more than that. So obviously 1460 if that breaks, then we'll take it. I do like it for an afternoon trade, but Dax, you already hit the nail on the head, and I think Neil's talked about this today a lot too. It's Friday, and it's Friday afternoon, and the market needs to take a break a little bit. It's been a busy couple months, to say the least, and you can see that right now. Check out the S&P, guys, today. I mean, we open up here where all the volume comes in at 29.41. We make a drop of 10 handles, and since then, we've been stuck in like a 7-handle range, top to bottom. I mean, if you take these wicks, then it's 10 handles, but basically real size coming in at 29.40, and then some support here at 29.30. So you're in like a 10-handle range. So not much happening as we look through on the S&P. So that's kind of how I judge the day a little bit. Do you follow the futures DAX as a leading indicator at all, or are you just using technicals on stocks?
I use both.
Yeah, okay.
I like technicals because support and resistance is very important. But having the futures as on the side here is definitely important to me, at least, because I know what the general market idea is going to be for the day or the afternoon. If a sell-off happens, I want to be there and see it first on the futures.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very good point. And when I was sort of like really to Sean on CCL, it's because I actually am sitting in this sleepy stock, and I did mention I'm hoping it breaks out of the bottom end of the range, but it's put in another higher low, and that's one of the reason why I kind of feel like it gets a little bit better for the long breakout. And yeah, I'm short 55s here, and I have been the entire morning, it seems. But if it does take out my break even, I might be thinking about taking a 65 break long side. The downside of that trade is probably exactly what Sean said. How much volatility can you expect on a Friday in the afternoon when it comes to a breakout style of trade? I feel like there's a better chance in one of the small cap names with a lower float, getting a bigger move and having volatility in the afternoon there than you might see in a carnival, which might have some trouble getting its juice going. And speaking of going, I did get into that Luckin trade, like I mentioned, guys, and it is more of a scalp trade. I'm not thinking this will be like a 20-30 cent win like we had before. If it literally hangs out in this 150 to 140 range, I am perfectly fine getting out of this one, 45, 43, 41, taking a smaller scalp, because at this time of day, you have to temper those expectations. And in front of that 150, it's a reasonable risk to reward. So 148 half short, you take some out starting at a 3-cent win all the way hopefully down to like a 10-cent win, which is happening right now, guys. So it's one of those things where it's not that I don't think it can't move further, but at this time of day, I'm not betting it's moving further. I'm structuring the trade to risk a 2 or 3 to make 5 to 10. And someone mentioned that in the chat as a way to manage risk as a beginner. I feel like that's reasonable. You start with key support and resistance. You start with maybe a directional bias. You figure out an entry and an exit like Brendan was mentioning, and then go from there. Share size falls after that once you know how much you want to risk.
Yeah, exactly. We did get, just to give you guys a little bit of an update here on Mr. Baba and what we've done on that one. So, okay, we go long at 203.40, right? That's that first break. We get out of some when it comes close to VWAP and breaks, and that's it. And then, unfortunately, we average in at 202.30. Then it breaks 202, and I get out. And I was actually telling this to Brendan. And then I reversed back long and have been cashing out a little bit here. So it's still going to be a red stock, but this is like, I consider this a failed break. And again, I apologize for all these wicks. It makes the chart not look as clean, but some failed breaks here at 202. So we're going to give it one more chance. We did get out of 30% of our trade up here at this VWAP. So now we wait to see if it can come all the way back. It doesn't look like it's going to do it, but if the futures get back going up here, maybe 29.50. Remember I talked about how sleepy this was? If we can get up to 29.40, then maybe we'll have something. But right now, I know Dax, it sounds like you're short Alibaba. That's going to be a good one too, obviously. But we'll wait to see here on another breakdown of 202. I'm, again, guys, taking a shot here. I don't like doing it 11.55, but we're going to try this one again to the top side here. That's your friend Alibaba, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in. I just saw a question about crude oil, and the first thing I'm going to do is preface everything by saying, ask Kevin what he thinks about it. Certainly, he has way more experience with energy than I do. But looking at what you're seeing, at least on the daily chart here, when you talk about this sort of range that it's been holding, that 32 to 35, whatever that might be, keep in mind when this entire mess started, you had the price war. Of course, we know what's going on with COVID-19. the first thing you heard about when it came to bankruptcies, when it came to some of the shale producers being under pressure, was that 30 to 35 range. It was a sweet spot for a lot of companies. I think that's why we're chopping around in that range. So yeah, is there a potential breakout through there? Yeah, maybe, but it also feels like it could have a lot of trouble breaking out through this price. So look, if we break through, is the next stop 40? Sure, but I would kind of, at least in my opinion, expect some chop in this range for I don't know how extended a period of time, but that would be my answer. I'd love to hear what Kevin thinks in the chat when it comes to energy. We have a lot of traders on the floor. Some are more experienced doing some things and some in others. We have traders that are really good at trading a lot of the big caps. We have some guys that are awesome when it comes to penny stocks and anything in between. And I think Kevin has a lot of experience when it comes to trading the overall market in general. So I like to lean on it. I talk to him on a daily basis. I hope you guys are asking questions in the chat as well. I'll get you back to Luckin because it's the only thing I got going on for me right here. I did get some shares out actively. 44, 43, 45, like I said. Nothing out in front of 140, but I expect this range to hold for quite some time, ideally. Shorting in front of 149. Everything I get out, I'll reload at 148 half or 149, and when 150 breaks, we'll just get out of that one. So rinse and repeat action here on Luckin. I'm not going long yet. I know I mentioned some of you might consider that 135 a hard bottom and want to trigger into the long. It's not unreasonable as long as you have a stop. I'm just not going to go ahead and do it. The short bias has served me really well, so I'm sticking with it if it's going to hang below VWAP. So that's my approach. Dax, do you ever find yourself just getting into one of those situations where you refuse to go a certain direction on a stock on a given day? And if so, how does it work out for you?
Actually, I'm a bear trader. I'm always negative basically on a stock. So my short bias is always very big, and actually that was a big part of my process to getting over that trading, that way of trading personally, by taking smaller share size. Because any which way the market goes, you can make money off it, right? So why only have a bias on the short side or the long side, right?
No, I tend to agree with that altogether. And I do heavily short. Anyone that watches the show, you'll definitely see a lot of times I'll hunt gap moves up. I'm looking to retrace those. It's just a setup that I like a lot of times. But you really have to be careful. And I think one of the things that I tell traders when they come in here is a lot of times you have to think about the style of trader you are and know what you have to accentuate, know what you have to improve. I know in my case, I have to avoid the bias. I know in my case, I'm going to start thinking about where is my out, what is my risk, where do I want to risk more? I have to push myself to do that because the other side's taken care of. I'm always going to manage risk. I'm always going to adhere to my stop because I lean towards that side. So I know what I have to focus on. That's what you got to figure out as a trader. We only have a couple of minutes left here, Dax. Let's go to Brendan. I know we have a couple of things to get to.
Yeah, about that time, guys. Couple minutes to go. Special thanks to Dax for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure to get another perspective on how to approach the market on a daily basis, guys. We have a long weekend to look forward to coming up over the next couple of days. No show on Monday. U.S. markets, some of the European markets also closed on Monday. So we will be back on Tuesday. So we will have the earnings board back for you on Tuesday as well. One more thing to take care of. Please help us do this by the end of the show. We're 14 subscribers away from 24,000. So please, if we could get to 24,000 before the long weekend, that would be fantastic. Yeah, the cat wants you to subscribe. I don't know what that cat's all about, but yeah, that's kind of creepy. Let's go over to Valeria and see what day it is today.
Hey Brandon, you're absolutely right. We're just 14 subscriptions away from 24,000. Guys, please subscribe for our channel now if you haven't yet, and catch us every day at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, except for the next Monday, because it's Memorial Day and US market is closed. Guys, also hit the thumbs up if you haven't yet, and thank you very much for all of your support, for all of the super chats, and for joining us. Shout out to Dax. Hey Dax, how are you doing? Thank you for joining.
Thank you very much for having me.
Great, and guys, you can participate also. Send your request at marketing@tradertv.live and join us, trade together and have fun. And as usual, I'm saying what national days today. So guys, today is the National Paloma Day. Paloma is the national Mexico drink with tequila. So guys, what is your drink to go for this long weekend?
Probably a beer. I mean, it's going to be a nice day, nice weekend for us. I think we're looking at 20-ish degrees. Are we still on that picture? There we go. Yeah, I think it's going to be a nice little, a little Pilsner, something like that. Nice and light and refreshing. Dax, what is your drink of choice?
That's what I want to know.
Beer, definitely beer.
Oh,
I like whiskey. I like whiskey too, but I'm more of a beer kind of guy, especially the lighter kinds.
Yeah, exactly.
Who hit the thumbs up there?
Give us a brand over there in Holland. What's your favorite brand?
Hertog actually.
We'll have to try it.
Can you pronounce it? Hertog? It's Duke John, basically. That's the translation for it.
Great stuff. I always like looking up interesting beers that we haven't had yet. So
absolutely. You know what? When you come eventually to Toronto, we'll have to crack one. I'd love to do that. I know, of course, you wanted to come and visit, and circumstances you weren't able to. When you come, we're going to get you that maple syrup. Trust me, it is worth the wait when it does happen. Look, it's been a fantastic week. Everybody, please remember the U.S. markets are closed on Monday. It is a holiday, so we will not be back. Also, we're trying to get to 24,000 subs. Only a few to get there. Of course, we got there? Yes, we got there. And you know what that means? We can celebrate it, and that's all well and good, but we're trying to get to 30,000. And why are we trying to do that? Because Valeria has been practicing her real dance. I want to see you do it. Everyone wants to see it live. It is what it is. We're going to have a floss action when we hit that 30,000. Valeria will do it live on the show. She has promised, guys. So make sure you get us to that. It's been a fantastic week. Dax, thank you so much for joining us as the guest trader of the day. I'm going to go down the line and leave you for last here. Valeria doing a fantastic job, as always, like she does. Get us to 30,000 so we can see her floss. Sean, of course, in the corner there. The Lucky Frog has been good for both of us, so you now have no choice but to bring it every single day. It is what it is. Or maybe even, well, we have a losing day, then we'll draw a new one.
I don't really need luck, but the point is, my daughter gave this out. We're running that today, so thank you for that. I'm going to bring, Neil's very disappointed, but I'll probably bring something different on Monday. But the frog is here today. It'll be frog plus something else. So Lucky Frog in there, Dax. Is there anything that you have that's kind of a lucky thing that you have there? Neil noted your Star Wars stuff.
No, that was a different guy.
No, it's not Star Wars. It's Assassin's Creed, some stuff over there, and Metal Gear Solid. I have some game stuff right here, and Final Fantasy little items, magnets going on.
All right, nice.
Gotta have those lucky things. And speaking of luck, it's always good luck when Brendan gives us the news. And believe me when I tell you, this guy is busier than sometimes everybody here, getting you all the breaking news. Do fantastic job as always, Brendan. And for myself, Neil Roberts, and I'm going to say, Dax, you're the main man. Of course, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you on Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Thanks for